You checked all the boxes, whooping that Bulls, you know what? Check mark. Never mind the Bulls. I told you they used up all their bullets to beat Atlanta the other night. Nonetheless, you got it done. And you know what, Vlad? They always say this: you play the game, you play the games, because you got to see how they play out. Everyone's saying, oh, this series going on to the Celtics, the Heat, it'll be a sweep at the best, a gentleman's sweep. I'm here to tell you, it's going to be a 5-6 game series. I'm not going to be here to tell you who's going to win it. I'm just telling you, that's why you play the games. And I think a lot of people are sitting here saying, oh, we're going to get swept. It's going to be this. Not so quick. Boston's going to start feeling that pressure. The Heat playing with a lot of freedom, nothing to lose. Eric Spoelstra, Joe Mazzulla, we know that matchup. Not the worst in the world. Not the best.
Hey, fam, stop it, man.
No, don't do this whole, no, stop. Don't do this. Don't do this. Why not do this? Last year, Bucks, no way we could beat them. Baya. I'm not saying the
Is
Heat
Jimmy playing?
Huh?
Jimmy playing?
Doesn't matter. Was Jimmy playing last night?
You could beat the Bulls without Jimmy.
Okay.
You're not beating the Celtics without Jimmy.
Go ahead. Say it.
I did.
Okay, there you go. You think it's a sweep? You think it's a gentleman's sweep? You think,
it's a sweep.
You think it's a sweep?
I think you guys get blown out by 20 both games in Boston, and then you put up a fight in game 3, but then lose, and then game 4 is Rap City, USA.
I'll take that. So if it goes past the sweep,
dude, if you get a gentleman's sweep, if it goes 6 games, unbelievable season by the Heat.
You're discounting the Heat, even without Jimmy Butler.
I'm discounting the Heat because they don't have Jimmy Butler.
I mean, they're used to playing without him. He only played 60 games this past season.
Playoffs.
Held hostage all year long. Playoff Jimmy, playoff Jimmy, playoff Jimmy. One without
Not even about playoff
Jimmy. I don't even know if Jimmy was there last night. Was he even there? I don't know.
He had surgery, bro.
Okay. Not surprised, of course. Jimmy Butler, though, man. Heat Nation still loves you, right? Right? We're going to get into that as the day goes on. I mean,
hey, this is good for the Heat, actually.
It really is.
Oh, the seat, because like if you play Boston, you put up a fight and you lose like in 4 or 5, right? You were 10 games above 500, and not only do you don't have Jimmy, but you don't have Terry, right? You don't have Josh Richardson.
That's tough.
Like, yeah, you're missing like 3 key wing players, guys who can. At least I know Terry and Jimmy can get their shot, and Josh is a guy who's he can hustle, he plays good defense and everything. I mean, Highsmith is doing a good job of what Richardson would be doing, but it would be nice that if you had Josh Richardson. Celtics don't care about you guys. Remember, they lost Tatum in game 7, and we didn't care about it. We're like, nah, you were losing, you lost the first 3 games of that Eastern Conference Finals. So they didn't care that Tatum lost and then they got blown out by Miami. So they're not gonna care that Butler's out. They want revenge. They're gonna try to go on a wounded animal, and they're gonna let it, and it's not gonna be pretty. That's what I'm saying.
That's what scares me, though. You're not sneaking up on the Celtics. They understand the rivalry, what it's been like in the playoffs the past couple of years, and also they have revenge on their minds with a very good team. That's why I'm not sitting here saying you better look out. We're gonna take this thing. We're gonna sneak one past them. I'm saying it's gonna be a little more competitive than I think people are giving it credit for.
It could be competitive, but you still could lose by 20. You're still going to lose by 20.
Yeah, you could.
That's what I'm saying.
People told me all day yesterday, all around the radio station. I'm not going to name names.
Me.
It wasn't you, but maybe it was you. A lot of people. Okay, one of 2 things going to happen with the Heat. Number 1, they're just going to give up the ghost because Jimmy's not on the team. I said, that's not going to happen. Number 2, it's going to be a nip and tuck game where we barely eke by. I said, I also don't think that's going to happen. And everybody said, what's going to happen? I said, Heat win. Heat win pretty decently. I also said the Pelicans were going to lose, but that was just me being a Pelicans fan.
But I will say this, though. I got to give props to Tyler Hero. That was one of his better games that I've ever seen him play.
I'll say this. The narrative on Tyler Hero a couple of weeks ago was, why don't we trade this guy? Why didn't we trade this guy earlier? Now the narrative is, thank goodness we didn't trade this guy. He is showing that he is worth every single penny that we paid him. And he came back from injury like he never missed a beat. Jaime Jaquez stepping it up last night. Very proud of him. Played very, very well. Bam Adebayo. Still think he needs to step it up a little bit more. I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but I still think he's got a little room to step it up. And of course, you knew Kevin Love was going to be big. He's got that pedigree. He can do it for 1 game. Can you do it for 4, 5, 6? Maybe not that point in his career. But you knew for 1 game, Kevin Love can be that steady and force for you.
And this is where I can stand on the hill of why I hate the play-in.
Why you hate the play-in? The
Yes.
excitement.
The excitement.
I loved it.
Who was the 7th seed going? No. Let me ask you this: who was the 7th seed going into the play-in game?
Going into the play-in game?
In the Eastern Conference.
That was the 76ers were the 7th seed.
And who was the 8th seed?
The Miami Heat.
And what eventually ended up happening?
Yeah, 7-8. Well, look at the West.
That's what I'm saying. The record, everything fell the way it did. You didn't need to waste a week. You could have had Jimmy resting. You could have the Heat resting for a week instead of having them play a playing game. As exciting as it's great. I get it. It causes a little buzz, but in all reality, it just does nothing. Because I'm sorry, if you bust your ass 82 games, however it is, and you have a better record than a team who's below 500, I don't think you have to be playing them. You shouldn't have to play them.
We can get some more teams involved towards the end of the season.
F all that, bro, because it's ridiculous. Because
let's just go back to the old school where
I think that's what they should have done.
No. I'm talking about old school where like one team comes out of the East, one team comes out of the West. The NBA Finals. No playoffs. No need for all that. Let's not have excitement. Let's just the two best records go at it.
Are you listening? Because I didn't say playoffs. I said play-in. So
I know, but I'm just saying. Why not?
You ODing now.
I'm ready to take it a step forward.
There's no need to OD.
No, I want to take it a step forward. Too many teams.
No.
4 teams. I only want 4 teams in the playoffs.
That's ridiculous.
No, why is that ridiculous?
Because that is ridiculous.
You can't have the play-in. I don't want the play-in.
If you want the play-in, just say you want the play-in. But you saying, oh, then just go back to one team. That's just dumb. That just sounds dumb.
Extremes. I take it to extremes.
All right, go ahead.
You don't want play-in games, man.
Because there wasn't play-in games 5 years ago.
That's okay.
Okay, so what are you talking about then? There wasn't play-in games. So therefore, with the top 8 records goes into the playoffs, which was the same exact thing that happened this season.
Do you enjoy the playoffs less now?
If the playoffs is still the playoffs, what I'm saying is you didn't have to waste a game, because if you wasted that game, because you wasted that game and played a game, Jimmy's hurt. If you just go with the top 8 records like it automatically was going to happen, you would have a fully healthy squad going against Boston. It all played out the same way it was going to be anyway. The top 8 records, 1 plays 8, 2 plays. It all eventually played out like that. Philadelphia was the 7th best record in the East. They were supposed to play the 2 seed. That's what happened.
So you hate
Miami was the 8 seed. Miami's supposed to play the top seed. That eventually happened. But should they have to miss their best player? No. That's the fault of the play-in.
That's the fault of the play-in. Jimmy got hurt because of the play-in.
It's just no waste. It's just a waste. It's just a money grab by the networks. That's all it was.
Yes, of course.
So, so you missed the network guy now.
Yeah, of course. I wish they would hire me. Please hire me right now. I will work for ESPN.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think somebody must have smoked today because he's definitely selling out.
I think that's the pot calling the kettle black right now.
No, I never know that you sell out. That's a sellout. I never knew you were part of the establishment.
I like the more games, the better. Why not?
I didn't know you were part of the establishment.
Pelicans lost the first game of the play-in. I thought they were going to lose last night.
Exactly. And guess what? The Pelicans with the record that they would have had, they would have been a 7th seed.
And they end up being an 8 seed now.
Okay, so guess what? The top 2 record, exactly. The 8th best record was the Lakers. The 7th best record was the Pelicans. All they did was just flip. But guess what? All 8 teams had the best records to make the playoffs.
Okay.
So you wouldn't have lost dying.
Okay, I'm not upset. I don't mind the play-in. I'm a nowist, not a past liver.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm okay with the play-in.
Play-in stinks.
I'm okay with wild card games. I'm okay with all that stuff. It is what it is. It's the way the world works. It's okay.
It stinks.
Okay. Let's see. Alejandro Solana just chimed in. Jimmy wasn't on the bench. But he was in the locker room after the game in a video the Heat posted. So Jimmy was there in attendance. He just wasn't on the bench.
Nice.
Yeah, Jimmy not going to play this year. Unless we get past Boston. And then we get past, no, we're not going to do all that. We're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's get to the headlines. The Heat defeated the Bulls 112-91. It was a no-doubter. Tyler Hero had 24. Jaime Jaquez Jr. dropped 21. They advanced to play Boston in the first round. Game 1, Sunday 1. The Pelicans without Zion Williamson. They held off the Kings. I was shocked. 105-98. They'll play Oklahoma City in the Western Conference first round. Very interesting now. You get the rivalry between Boston and Miami, and we know that could go either way. And of course, we do have the Heat without Jimmy Butler. That is a very, very tall task with Jimmy Butler, much less without Jimmy Butler. You get the Pelicans and Oklahoma City. As a Pelicans fan, your hope is Oklahoma City. They got some playoff experience, but not as a 1 seed with all that pressure. You don't have Zion. Brandon Ingram scored 24 last night. Maybe it'll be an interesting series. Oklahoma City doesn't have a long
Your
pedigree.
team is weird, bro. Your team is weird. I don't understand
Weird
why.
teams.
No, I just don't understand how the two best players can't get along.
They went to the same college too for a
You
year.
know?
I mean, the Pelicans just they boggle my mind sometimes. They zig and zag so much. I don't know. The NBA playoffs do begin today, though. At 1:00, it's Magic Cavs. Then at 3:30, Suns Timberwolves do battle. 6:00, you get the 76ers and the Knicks. Then at 8:30, the one everyone seems to be excited about, although I don't think it's going to be that exciting, Nuggets Lakers. Is there anything that exciting about Nuggets Lakers?
Yeah, you've seen great players, bro. You've seen the best player in the game with Nikola Jokic against quite possibly the best player ever or second best player ever. Yeah. It's still a market. You like networks, right? LA, second biggest market, right? Yeah.
Against the former champions?
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know, though, but is it going to be that competitive of a series? I mean,
I think so.
I think the Nuggets are just so much better than the Lakers. The only thing the Lakers really have is their revenge on their mind. And after getting swept last year in the Western Conference Finals, we'll see, though. That's why they play the games. That's what I said. That's why they play the games. Panthers and the Lightning renew their playoff rivalry tomorrow at 12:30. The playoffs begin today, 5:00. Islanders, Hurricanes, and at 8:00, Maple Leafs and Bruins face off. So that's a little, if you need some hockey action tonight, besides all the basketball playoff action, you got that. We told you for over a year now, and now everyone's coming around, Vlad. Everyone telling me that AJ Puck sucks. Yeah. What did we tell you a year ago?
Yeah, bro.
Loudly. Another day at the office, Vlad, yesterday. 3 innings, 7 earned runs. Good job, AJ.
So this morning, as I slept, at midnight when I started celebrating the holiday, I put it on the MLB network, and then they showed a stat of AJ Puck, and I'm like,
I mean, a stat.
It was like, dude, this guy got rocked.
Everybody's coming up to me now like, AJ Puck's no good. I'm like, don't talk to me like that's new news. Dude, he pitched 3 innings, gave up 7 runs. He's 0-4 on the season. Wow, we're surprised. He's got no hitting around. God bless Brian De La Cruz. He can only hit so many home runs to give the team runs. We're going to get into our experience. We went to the game on Wednesday. Good times. But so the Cubs beat us 8-3. There's a doubleheader today. 2:30 is the first game. Jesus Luzardo, our quote-unquote ace, taking the bump for the Fish. That should be exciting. At least we got AJ Puck out of our system. I know one guy who's still out there, and I mean, he kind of works with the Marlins, but that still says AJ Puck's okay. Oh my God. Give up that. I mean, like, I get texts. I don't even have to look and see if AJ Puck is pitching because I just start getting texts randomly at points of the day just with how much he sucks. It's just like, God, I wish he was better. Man, trade him for a minor league prospect. Can we do that? I don't know. NFL draft begins Thursday in Detroit. Many experts are saying the Dolphins will take Texas defensive tackle Byron Murphy II. Seen some highlights on him. Seems like he's a very dynamic player. I don't think anyone right now really knows. I think most people think the Dolphins are kind of honing in on either an offensive lineman or defensive lineman. Canes baseball team, they have not been good lately. I got to admit that. They fell to Louisville 9-5 last night. Game 2 is tonight at 8:00. Inter Miami, they're atop the Eastern Conference standings in MLS. The Herons, they host Nashville SC. That is going to be tonight, 7:30. Lionel Messi is a full go. Jordi Alba on the injured list. So giveth and taketh away. I've been following this very closely, Vlad. I don't know if you've been following, but we made a mention of it last year. Arizona State freshman quarterback and former Miami commit Jaden Rashada has entered the transfer portal. He played only 3 games for the Sun Devils due to injury. Now, remember, Jaden Rashada had been considering Miami, considering Florida. Eventually, he signed with Miami, or he committed to Miami because he felt as though our NIL deal was a little bit better. Everyone celebrated. Then he just in the middle of the night left because Florida offered more money, even though he wasn't 100% sure about it. And people said, oh, we missed out on one of the best quarterback prospects in the country. I said, we're probably not going to miss him very much, to be honest with you. But we're going to track him. Goes to Arizona State, gets hurt, plays 3 games. Now he's back in the transfer portal. Not saying that I'm wrong. All right. I'm saying so far Haven't missed him very much. It doesn't seem like Arizona State's missed him very much. Florida's missed him very much, but could be wrong. We're keeping an eye on you, Jaden Rashada. You chased the almighty dollar. Now we're gonna see. Got our quarterback now, Cam Ward. He looks good. Did you hear about this? This excites me, Vlad. Miami native Uncle Luke is considering running for public office. He may run against fellow Democrat Sheila Shirflis McCormick for a House of Representatives seat. Of course, the former True Life crew leader, he supports youth football in the area and helps coach football at Edison High. I mean,
I'm definitely voting for him.
You got to vote for Uncle Luke, right?
Yeah, man.
I'll read the platform because I'll never just blindly vote for anybody.
I don't need the platform. I'm voting for Luke.
There you go, Vlad.
I mean, he's been the mayor of Miami for the longest, so I already know he
straight up. Vlad goes, not reading the platform.
Not reading the platform. Voting for Uncle Luke.
No matter what. And the NHL's officially approved that the Arizona Coyotes will move to Salt Lake, and they're expected to play there next season.
NHL, nasty work by you as well with the scheduling. Like letting people know like 48 hours. Oh, this is when your series start. That's nasty work.
Yeah, but they put out feelers because even before they'd announced it, a lot of websites I'd gone to was like, a lot of people are expecting the Panthers to play Sunday. And people could ask, do you know? I go,
right.
I don't know, but people in the know seem to be kind of saying that it's going to.
That's nasty.
People like, so should I like block off my Sunday? I go, yeah, you can block off your Sunday. And sure enough, they were right. And I was right. So I was like,
yeah, that's just, but you do better.
So I've been doing all right. Minus me selling out my Pelicans last night, expecting them to lose. Been all right with a lot of things.
I think that was interesting that both teams that had the injuries to their star players, pulled out the victories. But home court also meant a lot.
Better team, home court, motivation.
And good job by the Heat fans that filled up the Kaseya Center in the second quarter.
Yeah, I did notice at the beginning of the game. I was like, "What? Why are there so many?"
NBA's got to do better. That should be a 7:30 game. That should be a 7:30 game because in New Orleans it's 10 o'clock. You could start a game at 9 p.m. Central in New Orleans.
I mean, it's both. It's both the NBA with the scheduling. It's fans. They need to get there early.
It's Friday night, bro. Guys, people are getting off the work week, and you're gonna start a game at 7 p.m. Come on, we know Miami. Like, this is what I hate. And I talked to you about this because of work situation. But it's not like this is something that just happened all of a sudden. This is a yearly thing. You know that there's certain cities and certain markets where traffic is going to be busy. So don't start a game at that time when you know the crowd is not going to fill up. You start a game at 7 p.m. on Friday in Miami when everybody's getting off work. That's not going to happen, baby.
Well, the NBA says, look, if you really want to go to the game, make sure you get there on time.
They got to work.
Take the half a day.
Oh, man.
So, Vlad, if you're only going to one playoff game.
Well, it's a playing game. But good.
Okay, and you buy $100, $200 tickets, are you going to be like, yeah, when I get off work, I'll mosey my way down there? Or are you going to say, I got to get off work early? I'm going to
you know what? That 4 hours is the $200 I just spent.
Okay, so you're one of the people that's going to be late to the game.
It's not because I got to be there. I still got to eat. I still got bills to pay. I'm trying. That's the thing. You're not looking out for bills. They're not looking out for the fan. That's what I'm saying. They're not looking out for the fans because the 7 p.m. starts nasty work.
It's all about TV and revenue, baby.
That's like, okay, you want to hear something nasty? This upcoming Friday, we will have a playoff game at 5:30 in the afternoon.
Ooh. It's exciting.
That's nasty.
It's exciting.
That's nasty.
If you're a fan and you don't want to go to the game, don't go to the game. It's tough.
That's nasty.
Are we taking this hard take that everyone takes? The NBA hates people. They're only worried about
all the leagues hate. They don't care. They don't care.
If you don't want to go to the game, if you don't like it, don't go. I choose not to go to a lot of the games. That's on me.
5:30. You're not gonna get ratings at all. Who's gonna watch? Who's gonna take time off? Now, come on, man. They got to do better.
Got to?
Yeah, they got to do better.
Fans,
not the fans. I'm talking about the league.
Poor fans.
No, yeah, poor fans.
NBA hates everybody. NFL doesn't care either. Major League Baseball, what are they doing? MLS, I don't know. I mean, you can't even watch Inter Miami games. You have to listen to them on 560 WQAM or 790 because you got to get Apple TV plus MLS plus Messi plus. Love Messi though. Man of the people. Man of the people. That's all. Like, why do you hate Messi so much? I don't. I'm just making a mention of what his deal is. He's one of the great. He's the greatest player of all time. What if there was Michael Jordan TV back in the day where you couldn't watch a Bulls game unless Michael Jordan and the Apple Plus you had to spend extra money.
Bet you Bulls with a lot of money.
That'd have been a lot of money. Messi's
Bulls would
making
make
a lot of
money.
Living on commercial. Love it. With that being said, let's just calm down. Let's take a step into the day spa. Uber has released its list of best and worst lost and found items in 2023. You ready for what they include?
Good.
You've done some Uber, Vlad, so you should know some of these.
Lighters.
I mean, yeah. Underwear, of course.
Yeah.
There was a Jeep engine left in a car.
A Jeep engine?
I mean, how do you get in with that?
You put it in the trunk?
I have no clue. A paternity test.
That's nasty
Wouldn't
work.
want to leave that.
Nah, you don't want to leave that.
Pet spiders have been left behind.
Yeesh.
And, of course, toupees.
Wait, how you leaving your toupee? What's going on in there, man?
Hey, maybe you're drunk, you're just messing around. I don't know. I'm just glad they didn't find some of the stuff I've left behind in Ubers this past year. Whew. Also, Miami, one of the most forgetful Uber cities, too, obviously. I think Miami, New Orleans, New York, Los Angeles, places that have high drinking, partying, needing Uber rides. You know, people forget a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
And, you know, like if you're an Uber driver, you know, that's at your discretion on how much you want to return those very, very valuable items. We'll see. Up next, we're going to talk about Jimmy Butler and the relationship he has with the Miami Heat Nation, Heat fans, and just Miami in general. Got kind of interesting last night, at least in my opinion. This is Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Yeah.
Great win for the Heat last night over a Bulls team that I think was kind of spent after that Atlanta Hawks game, and a Heat team that was pretty motivated, wanted to show that they could make it happen with or without Jimmy Butler, and that's exactly what they did. For the most part, a no doubter went in there. Tyler Hero did his thing. Bam Adebayo doing his thing. Jaime Jaquez Jr. very, very good. Kevin Love looking like a wily vet. Team looked good last night. Now it's one game in the NBA, but starting to wonder now. Like there is a point, and even throughout the season, Jimmy Butler, our guy, but it seemed like he kind of held us hostage a little bit this year. Like, oh, I'm hurt. And he was probably hurt. I really do think he had the foot problem. But, he's out there with Neymar and Carlos Alcaraz, and then he's sick the next day, which had some of Heat Nation being like, all right, come on. But he always dangled that carrot.
That was nasty work. That was.
You need me. I'm playoff Jimmy. And you always said, okay, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be like that. It's kind of like being in that relationship, maybe not that great, but there's going to be some parts of it that you like, and there's going to be good days. He always dangled that carrot. Always dangled the playoff Jimmy, playoff Jimmy, playoff Jimmy, playoff Jimmy. Anytime you question Jimmy, playoff Jimmy, playoff Jimmy, and you say, okay. And this year we almost guaranteed, not fully guaranteed, but almost guaranteed, there's not going to be any playoff Jimmy. Last night there was no Jimmy Butler at all playing. He was in the building, but not playing. And the Heat looked good. Now, granted, it was against the Bulls. It's not against the Boston Celtics. We still have the series. But do you feel as though maybe you're a little less captive now? You feel a little more liberated if you're a Heat fan with this whole playoff Jimmy thing? Or at least now you're saying, all right, now we don't have to sit around and wait and bite our tongues and say, okay, but in the playoffs, we'll make a move. Do you feel a little bit, Vlad? And I know you're not a quote-unquote Heat fan, but do you feel as though some people in Heat Nation, I know I do, feel a little more liberated after last night's victory?
I mean, this is a weird year, bro.
I feel a little liberated.
It's not about liberation. I feel like this. If you're a Heat fan, the fact that Jimmy got hurt and you still made the playoffs, you still won the playing game
and looked good at it, and once again against the Bulls.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you were like 6 games or 8 games above 500 or ahead of them, but you still had to play them. It depends. If they really put on like they're gonna put in the effort, but if they really compete in the series against Boston and made it tough, then you can always say, man, if we had Jimmy and everybody's in that, that's a good point. That's gonna be like, if they had Jimmy, this series could have gone a different way, the same way, because why? We saw what happened last year. And because of what happened last year and the way they played in that first half against Philadelphia, you would have thought that they can, a second magical run can happen again. But your main guy's hurt. So now, whatever you do, you have that. It's not an excuse, but you have a reason. 22 was hurt. If 22 was in, if 22, you would love your chances with 22 there. But Deuce is hurt. So you can't really say anything. So if Boston fans or Boston media want to talk, they can. But at least you had Tatum for 6 of the 7 games last year. Tatum got hurt in the game. You're going into a series now knowing that you don't have 22 there. It's a different mission.
Well, last year, remember, Tyler Hero, of course, gets hurt in the first game of the playoffs, doesn't really do anything in the playoffs at all, and that opened up a lot of trade speculation. What if the Heat do somewhat make a run? What if the Heat just play Boston very well?
Then the Heat have the same problem the New Orleans Pelicans have. They got a problem. Why can't their 2 best offensive players play well together during the playoffs? Well, and I'm not going to say, you know what? New Orleans is worse than Miami. I just don't. I don't think Miami is a problem. What I'm noticing now, and maybe this is something they got to do more. Tyler is showing that he can not only get his own shot, but get shots for others.
Yeah, he had that behind the back pass last night.
So he almost had a triple-double. So therefore, maybe more of the ball should be in Tyler's hands. But if the ball more in Tyler's hand, ball in Jimmy's hand, the person that really gets left out in the situation is Bam.
Who is supposed to be our captain?
Who is the captain? But now that Jimmy's hurt, you expect a little bit more from Bam as well. Like, this is supposed to be Bam and Tyler carrying the load.
Well, ESPN insider Adrian Wojnarowski yesterday kind of made some comments saying that this offseason could be very interesting for the Miami Heat. He says that there's going to probably be a lot of movement in the NBA, and some of these big all-star level players might want to come to Miami. And he says Miami may want to align their talent and their roster more with the younger guys like Bam Adebayo on Bam Adebayo's timeline. Which once again, now you have to ask this question. Let's say Vlad, let's keep it a buck a little early. He'd go into the series against Boston, get gentlemen swept 5-1. And in the offseason, a big name star. I'm not going to name. I mean, we had Damian Lillard last year, but a big name, an all-star, somebody that, can do some things. Says, I want to come to the Heat. I want to be traded to the Heat. I'm demanding a trade. Ooh, you're going to have to give up something. What do you give up? Possibly. You want Bam, you want Jimmy. Now you really want Tyler. Is Tyler tradable now? Because Tyler's looking like someone you want to keep. There's no way, and I'm not even speculating, you're going to trade Jimmy Butler. Although Jimmy's got that 1 year.
But can you run it again for a 6 year?
That's
with the same
question. 3? So who is the most expendable if, let's say, an all-star level player wants to come to Miami?
Well, it all depends on Riley, though, because Riley don't got time to be waiting on these young guys. He's all about the vet.
Right, and that's what people say, like, if we...
So that's why Jimmy, I don't know if Jimmy goes, but even though, if you really look at it, Jimmy should be probably out of the 3 because he's older.
I know. Doesn't that sound crazy?
And I told you, he's like 39 in Tibbs years.
Doesn't that sound crazy? He's got 1 year left on the contract, up for an extension. He's 34 years old. And the tread is on the tire. Now we're starting to see it a little more. If you're Pat Riley and you get a big name star, someone that's going to be great, you got to make some room money-wise. You got to make some room player-wise, and you can't trade him for peanuts. Out of the big 3, who's the most expendable for the Miami Heat? Is it Bam Adebayo, who is young and been an all-star twice on Team USA?
No, Bam is probably not most expendable, but Bam is probably the most you can get for because of his 6'10", the way he plays defense.
He's expanding his three-point shooting.
The way, just he can add more to his game. And he just plays both ends of the court.
And the way Tyler played last night, no, it's one game. It's the Bulls.
It's one game. But you know what? This is an important series.
He can go and say, look, when I'm the guy, look what I do.
When you're healthy.
Yeah, you got to be healthy too. Well, Jimmy, you got to be healthy.
Well, Jimmy only misses regular season.
Except for this postseason, which he's probably going to miss the whole entire thing.
Dude, this is not like, he landed wrong. That's all. There's nothing you can say about it. He landed wrong.
Who is? It's a question. I think, like, I have heard a little bit of Heat Nation, not overwhelmed with happiness in Jimmy Butler with some of the stunts that he's pulled this year. And now that he's dangled playoff Jimmy in front of us, and be honest, it held us kind of hostage because all year long, when anything went wrong, we said, oh, it'll be okay. Playoff Jimmy will show up. We're just waiting on playoff Jimmy. Just get into,
which is why
Heat players even supposed to just get us in the tournament. That's all we kept saying. So anytime you and I got critical of things, the response was from Heat Nation, don't worry about it. Look what we did last year. Be quiet. Wait till the playoffs. Playoff Jimmy will show up. Tyler's going to be healthy this year. We'll be right back there. And now it's like, well, okay, you can't hold that over me anymore. You've lost that mind control, at least for now. But you can't get rid of Jimmy, can you? You can't get rid of Bam. Is it still Tyler Hero? Is this going to be another offseason we hear?
It all depends on what Tyler does now because everything's on him right now.
So if he balls out against Boston, win or lose, the word you want to hear, Vlad, run it back.
No, they can't run it back again.
Pat Riley don't rebuild. I was on the Joe Rose show this week, and we're like, well, so if we lose tonight to the Bulls, do we look at possibly retooling and rebuilding? No, Pat Riley doesn't have time to try to do a rebuild. So take that out. Man, it's weird. Who is your most valuable player? And I'm considering everything. Health. I don't want to say, well, if everybody's healthy, it's Jimmy. Health, age, future.
Here's the thing, right?
Your most valuable player.
These next 4 or how many games, right? You might be looking at the future of the Miami Heat. You got Jovic.
Yeah, who's played well.
He played well.
Especially this season for the whole
Jaquez Jr.,
who was great last night. He kind of hit a wall, but still, he's great.
Tyler.
He's been great when he's played this year. And
Bam.
Night, he looked like a world beater.
And Bam.
Bam's been
Bam is Bam. He's a captain.
It's gonna be
He
plays it on both ends.
So yes, I think a starting four of that with a superstar who maybe a little bit younger.
I know that's the thing. I don't know. And then your other option is once again, run it back. Vlad,
You can't run it,
I know
but
you're not happy
you
about
can't
that.
run it back. You still got to add one more player. You still got to add.
You're one step away, it seems, but
You still missing a piece. Even if you had to go on a run, you're not gonna beat eventually Denver. Even if you won the East.
well, this is my thing about what happened, especially in the first play-in games when Zion Williamson went down and Jimmy Butler went down. And you and I have talked about this, Vlad. It is hard enough to win a playoff game, a playoff series without your star player, much less with, I mean, how are you going to win the whole series? I mean, and I know that the Heat, their best player, Jimmy Butler, is out. Everybody's like, oh, they're done. It's like, well, I mean, what team, if Nikola Jokic goes down, you think Denver still got an easy walk to the finals? No, nobody. You lose your best player in the playoffs. It's hard. I'm surprised the Heat did what they did last year without Tyler Hero. But nonetheless, Jimmy Butler, exciting. And like I said, the contract makes it kind of interesting and weird. I don't know, man. I don't know. Should be interesting to see what happens with this Boston series. Somebody was texting in 305-567-0560. That's why we play the games. Yeah, it gets interesting. Maybe you get one, you steal one. The pressure starts getting on Boston.
Man, you ain't stealing nothing, bro.
I'm just saying, you're playing loose and easy. You got nothing to lose. Everyone thinks you're going to get swept.
That's what's gonna happen.
What if you take one at their place and flip home court?
V, the chance of you winning 4 games out of 7 without
Jimmy Butler.
bro.
No, I'm just saying, make it a series.
I don't care about what does making it a series mean, though. Okay, making it a series, what? So making it a series is going to give you, like I said earlier, it's going to give you reasons, not an excuse, but a reason to say, look, we could have competed or won this series if we had 22. And that we get that. I'm saying that. Compete's okay. But that's not the Heat's MO. I don't think they think they're gonna lose. And I like that concept. I like that thinking. I don't think Spo got that team going in there thinking they're gonna lose to Boston because they don't have Jimmy. He's probably saying like we were the 8 last year.
That's what they were saying. I will say this. I do. The fans chanting "We want Boston" last night at the game, very audibly loud on TV that I could hear.
Oh, you don't have to want them. You got them.
And I understand Boston did that last year. We want Miami and all stuff, but I guess it's always good to have some fun. It's always good. But very interesting. Let's see what happens this series and then what happens this offseason, what happens this postseason. Interesting. Honestly, I think the Heat, they're in a weird spot of running it back or trying to get someone or trying to make things work. Should be interesting. We'll see. Up next, going to do what I like, some of the things Vlad and I liked over the past, I don't know, couple days here in South Florida. 560 WQAM. Time to do some what I like, some of the things that my cousin Vladimir Luson and I have liked over the past couple of days in the sports world and the world in general. This past week, Chris Greer addressed the media. Got a lot going on with the Dolphins, believe it or not. They've been picking up some guys here and there. And then Thursday begins the NFL draft. There's also been some talks that Tua and the Dolphins are in talks to get that contract extension done. What's going to possibly happen? What's the personnel going to look like? What's the coaching going to look like? Chris Greer said some things. We're going to dive into it. Some of the things that we liked. Well, they asked him in any way, shape, or form. You're actually going to hear the question at 21 on that first day of the draft. Would you take a quarterback? And Chris Greer basically laughed in everyone's face.
I think I know the answer, but I want to ask his fan the answer to this question of selecting a quarterback in the first round.
Mm-hmm. No, I think, listen, we always look at every position. I would say that's not someone I'm looking at the first round. It's not a position that we've even talked about. There's some good players. But, we're very happy with Tua and where he is with us. So, but at some point, I wouldn't say we're not going to draft a quarterback at any point. I mean, we took Skyler here, in the 7th round years ago. So you always look at opportunities for where you can add depth in your roster. And so I just think that goes across the board for any position.
I like the answer, Vlad. No, we're not taking a quarterback at 21. I'm not saying we're never going to take a quarterback, but no. So don't go crazy. Tua's our guy.
Yeah.
Love him or hate him. We're actually going to talk about Tua being our guy and how much of our guy later in the show. Chris Greer continued on. A lot of people talking about Tua's body. I don't know why we talk about guys' bodies so much. We talk about Zion's body all the time.
Because they're fat.
Well, Tua slimmed down, and Chris Greer was asked, did y'all tell him, make subtle hints, or is it just one of those things he's doing? And he said, Tua is just being Tua.
No, I think this to his credit, like he's trying to do everything he can to do what he can to be great. And that's been from day one when, Mike and him connected here and working through this first season and then making the changes off season, working through last year, staying healthy, leading the league in passing. And now this is his next evolution. As Mike has told you guys, we feel like there is a whole nother step that he can take. And so we're excited about his future.
Does that excite you that Tua is really, really just seeming to zone in right now and just doing what it takes to be a true professional, learning at least what it takes? Because it does take a little while.
What else is it going to excite me for?
Should be excited.
Why?
Because we talk about Tua every day.
That's his damn job to do.
There's a lot of players who don't.
So he's the leader of a franchise. He's got to do that.
You don't have to do it. There's guys who don't.
I'm supposed to go, woo! Like Dolphins fans are supposed to go crazy, say, woo, Super Bowl bound now.
No, they don't say Super Bowl
All right,
bound.
then,
They
no.
like that their quarterback's making a commitment. Their quarterback's learning how to be a better
He was
quarterback.
fat last year. All right. And when Ryan Clark made the mention, people didn't like it, but it was true. And you know how true it was? Because what he did this offseason, he slimmed down. So that's all it was. Okay, he slimmed down. He realized, all right. But that's what every athlete should do.
So to slim down equal more passing yards, a better season?
I don't know. Slim down may mean he able to escape the pocket and not get sacked, maybe, or get for an extra yard, maybe on a 3rd and 4, get the 5 instead of 3 3/4.
See, I think that's more of what it was. He was extremely immobile last year.
He was a patat.
Yeah. So I think he realized that and said, you know what? Trimming down, being a little more fit, maybe being able to elude, be a little lighter of foot. That's probably what it's all about. It's not about he's always just been this guy that no, it's just he wants to be more mobile.
I don't. That's it.
I'm excited though. It means that he's taking it into his hands. He's going.
I
rock and roll.
don't get excited that like they do that. That's why they have those end of the year meetings. They tell them what they want, and then they work on that. This is what athletes do. Some athletes put on weight, muscles, that they need and come back. And some athletes may have to slim down.
Some athletes do whatever the hell they want to do too.
And some athletes do whatever they want. So it is what it is. Whatever works for him, whatever it's that's good. But
I don't get excited about pictures of guys or girls. Well, I mean, things are girls, but of players that don't have their shirts on, they look fit because there's filters. There's all this other stuff that doesn't excite me. So, we'll see what happens.
Side note, your girl Becky G is doing some commercials for Mitchell and Ness.
I mean, everything she does is.
Yeah, I see what's up. All right,
she's flawless.
Continue.
Flawless, I tell you. You get me distracted talking to Becky G.
Nah, yeah, that's a deadly smile. That's a deadly smile. But go
One
ahead.
more thing. Okay. Oh, speaking of meetings, I know you're talking about postseason or end of the season meetings. You know the Dolphins are meeting nonstop. Mike McDaniel, believe it or not, he can't wait to get his hands on his very first ever as a head coach first round pick. You know, the Dolphins had a
Oh,
first
he's
round pick.
annoying.
Tyreek Hill. You know, you got the whole trying to jump
McDaniels look
on
like
boats.
he looks
with-
like a nagger. He looks like he nags.
Oh, I'm sure he's just incessantly bothering everyone in that building right now. Well, Chris Greer was actually talking about how much Mike McDaniel was nagging about that first round pick.
Oh, he has been out of his mind because now he's recommending everybody to me. But it's been fun. He's been, he and I have been watching a lot of players talking, great communication. So it's been fun. I think he's very excited to add a good player, as we all are.
So let's play this out. You're Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel, just, you know, for whatever reason. I'm guessing this is how the conversation goes. Hey, Chris, you listening? Chris, you listening? Chris. Okay, so look, they got this really cool guy in Washington. He's really awesome. He's great. Man, he can really do a lot of good things for us. Oh, but they also got this really cool guy at UCLA. Man, have you seen it? Come on, let's go watch some film. Chris. Oh, no, wait. Hold up. This guy in Miami right down the street. We also got to take a look at him. I mean, we got so much, you know, we got so much to do. Here, look, just call your wife right now and tell her that you can't go home tonight. I mean, we got too much to do. It's my first round pick. It's my very first round pick. It's like Christmas Day. Come on. Have you seen that guy at Illinois? Oh my goodness. Chris, are you hearing me, Chris? Because I got a list. Chris. Okay, so it's the 21st pick. So, you know, you got to figure that there's going to be quarterbacks that are taken that maybe aren't as good as this guy, but this guy, and we're going to do this. So what we can try to do
Hold
is,
on. First of all,
you know,
he's not saying all that. You're talking fast. That boy don't talk fast.
he's excited.
No, he could be excited. He's still not talking that fast.
He's got a lot to say.
Okay. He says one word every 3 seconds.
Not when it comes to the draft.
well,
Never had a
you
first round pick.
You just said like 20 words in like 2 seconds.
He's excited.
No. He might be excited. Don't get me. You're right. He's excited. But he's not talking like that.
You don't think he's made, I mean, you even know that he's made a bunch of suggestions because Chris Greer said he's suggesting everybody. The guys there have, you know how you try to avoid that one coworker because you know you just don't want to deal with them? He's that guy right now. Everybody in the office is like, oh, hey. They're like, oh man, hey. How much you want to bet right now? Everyone's avoiding him.
No, listen, he's probably gonna be annoying draft day because this draft, when we'll talk about it, you know, in the next 3 hours or so. But this draft is gonna be very interesting because we don't know. Nobody really knows how this order is gonna fall down. So if more quarterbacks get drafted early, that means very good players start dropping down.
That's good for the Dolphins.
That may help the Dolphins because a player that they might have been on the fringe of getting, they don't have to trade up or do anything stupid, or a player that they didn't even think that they would fall to them might fall to them. So we'll see.
Best player available. Hey, Chris. Back with the second hour of Sports Day 560 WQAM. Chris.
Listen to WQAM for
It's time for Sports Day.
Beautiful day.
Turn it up. It's Sports Day with Dan Day.
The NBA playoffs are at our front door, and all we have to do is open them up. Seriously, just open up the front door. You're about to see some NBA playoff action. The Heat, they're into the NBA playoffs. The Pelicans, they're into the NBA playoffs. But coming up in just a few minutes,
The New York Knicks are in the NBA.
the
playoffs.
NBA second seed, man. 76ers smiling about that for right now. You guys should have Julius Randle. That would be so awesome, but it's not going to happen. Injuries are part of the game. We
Can't
always
wait
talk
to
about
break
that.
down some of these playoff series because I could tell you who's definitely. I mean, I know the schedule's out, but remember I said there's certain series that's going straight to NBA TV, and certain
Yeah.
series that the networks are gonna want to showcase.
This Orlando Cleveland.
Orlando,
stuff
Cleveland
stuff.
after tonight will be NBA TV.
Yeah, they try to put it on first. Like everybody's getting ready to do it now,
and
but
nobody
wants to watch that.
he underscore quote on YouTube just says Magic Cavs way to start playoffs emoji.
Yeah,
Like he's right.
that's my
He's
dude
absolutely right.
there. Heat cult knows, man. Nobody's excited about Magic Cavs. Even people in Cleveland and Orlando, whatever. They're probably like, okay, let's get it out the way. Oh man. So in this Magic Cavs series, let's start with that exciting series. Man. Actually, the Magic are underrated.
They are.
They have
Shout out to their
no
coach. Jamal
experience.
Mosley's done a hell of a job.
No experience in the playoffs.
Cleveland got knocked out first round.
They whimpered out last year by the Knicks.
Well, this has somehow well, they don't knock out. Yeah, we gentlemen swept them. That's
No,
right.
no, I'm just saying they don't have a lot of playoff
Um,
experience.
I mean, Donovan Mitchell does, but he never gets out of the first round. This is a very important series. And this has Heat fans and
Implications?
Heat implications. Thank you for the
Because if the Heat
Kuzan.
beat the
Did you just
Celtics,
tell me? Did you just tell me a Jose Alvarado alley-oop to Herb Jones?
that's what we did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
to
was
Herb
nice.
Jones. You consider yourself because I get it because of the holiday. You're considering yourself Herb Jones.
Hey,
I didn't
hey.
say anything. It's record store day.
No, I know. No, I'm just saying. See the synergy.
Go ahead.
No, it does have Heat implications because if Donovan Mitchell gets, if the Cavaliers get knocked out by the upstart Orlando Magic, this is going to
Ooh,
be the second year.
this could be so go ahead. Work the Heat into this one.
That's what you got. This is the second year that the Cleveland Cavaliers with Donovan Mitchell has been knocked out of the NBA playoffs. And I don't think the coach, Bickerstaff, is going to be there. And I think they're going to have to look at unloading some salaries, which is one, Allen,
Not
the
worried
center,
about it. That's not the guy
Jared
we're
Allen,
That's not what we're worried about.
and one point guard
What?
/ shooting guard just combo guard whose destinations he's let people know his destinations that he would like to be playing in. One is New York City. The other one is South Beach.
I was almost run out of town years ago by several people at the radio station. Some aren't here anymore. How dare you want to trade for Donovan Mitchell? He's not that good. I wouldn't give up Duncan Robinson. I wouldn't give up anybody for him. And I was like, you should. No, you're not a Heat fan. And some of you texters, not the ones that are texting right now, texters at the time, they don't have the guts. It's like, shut your ass up. Shut up. That you thought Donovan Mitchell was not a good option. That you would rather ride with a bench player than him. All y'all. Wrong. Go ahead, Vlad.
I'm just saying, bro. It's this is why I
Yeah,
think
blow it up. Blow it up.
I think in this series, I think we're all rooting.
Gotta root for I I don't love Orlando, but
You gotta root for Orlando because here's the thing. Say the Heat do the unthinkable once again. This is even more of the unthinkable without 22. Say you somehow get past the Boston Celtics. Do you know if Orlando beats Cleveland, it's Orlando, Miami, and the state?
Yeah, and you got a 3-1. You beat them 3-1 series this season. Cleveland, still. You gotta like. Of course, you gotta like the odds if you get past Boston. You gotta.
I think you would like. I think you look at yourself as going into the Eastern Conference Finals with the hope, a chance.
I hope to play the Knicks.
Well, hopefully, yes. I would love to eliminate you guys, and I would love Jimmy to be back. I'll do
Dream
you.
scenario: you beat the Celtics in 7. You get it doesn't matter the Cavs or Orlando. You beat them. You get the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. I
Yeah,
think I
but,
speak for Heat Nation. Let's go Heat. Let's go Heat.
well, Heat Nation is always going to say that.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm saying it with a little extra effervescence.
You can say it with
That is a
all.
path to the
You,
finals.
you can say all with all the pep in your step.
All you got to do is beat the best team in the NBA without your best player. That
Yeah.
starts it all.
Go ahead, knock yourself out. But in this series, though, Orlando, Cleveland, I like Cleveland. I like Cleveland to win.
Okay, well, I'll play devil's advocate. I like Orlando. I think Orlando's sneaky good. I think a lot of people underrate them. I think Paolo Banchero is absolutely wonderful. I like the point guard they got out of Arkansas last year. I think they play everybody tough. I think Orlando once again shows how, and I mean, I don't know why I'm actually going against myself, why Cleveland doesn't really belong in these playoffs, at least to go deep. And Donovan Mitchell, maybe not the greatest playoff player. That's all going to change if he comes to the Heat, though, because, it's a different culture and Spurs knows how to coach him up. Nonetheless,
Waddle boy, Waddle underscore baby Waddle underscore Waddle. He put on, he said, Woj. Our boy Woj.
Man, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Woj. I got to give Woj credit, man. 2 years ago, Shams had him, man. Shams had him looking, he had him looking bad out there, just breaking all the news. Woj was like, all right, you ready? Hold my beer. Bombs, Woj bombs out of like the last 2 years, Woj bombs galore.
Good
Woj,
job by his agent.
And here's the other thing: the only person that was right about the whole Dame situation was Woj.
Good job by his agent. I need his agent.
Woj, baby. But look, was talking about Spider. Woj report was talking about Spider. A player with 2 years left on his deal said he will not resign and will demand a trade to Miami. A player around the same age timeline as Bam is 98% Spider.
Thank you, Waddle, baby Waddle, for repeating what I said earlier. But go ahead.
And the reason why I'm looking at it, this is why these next 4 games, or how many so, is important for Tyler Hero. Because if Tyler shows that he can be
untradeable,
I'm not even saying untradeable. No, you would want him to be tradable.
You want his value to go as high as possible.
He's untradeable right now. You want him to be tradable.
Well, the thing is, if everybody increases their value, that only helps.
No, but then I'm looking at this young nucleus that you guys have.
Oh, no.
And it's a nice nucleus because you look, I like what's going on with Nico. Nico's improved tremendous this season. Okay. And I like how he played early. I just feel like they need to play him a little bit more, but I like what they've done with Nico. Bam is Bam. That's solidified. He El Capitan. He's there. Then you have Triple J. Triple J is nice. Triple J is really good player. A really good player who's gonna just improve. So you got a good 4, man. That's a good young core 4. What, 25, 26 years old or younger? That's a core you can go with a star. You have a good 4 or 5 year run after that. That's why I think if Tyler shows himself, you got to really start thinking about, should you go younger? What can you get? Because Tutu's coming back from an injury now.
My only problem would be this, and I'm just going to throw a wrench into everything. Let's say the unspeakable happens and you decide to trade or make some type of deal where Spida comes over here for Jimmy Butler. Tyler Hero and Spida are basically occupying the same position.
Yeah, but you know what, though? That can work in the league. I've seen that. We've seen that. It's going on in the league. You look at Cleveland. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell basically play the same position. Booker and Beal. Guys just going to have to learn how to play with each other, sacrifice. Okay. That's it.
Let's say the Heat play really well against Boston. Let's just say I'm not going to go crazy because people are murdering me for saying that the Heat are going to make this a series. But let's say they just make it a series. They don't win the series. They take it to 7 games. Tyler plays out of his mind. Bam plays great. Duncan's a little stiff. I can't expect him to be too great. But let's say that happens. And in the offseason, Spida says, I want to go to Miami. What is Heat Nation, finger on their pulse? How willing are they possibly to consider a trade?
If Spida says he wants to go to Miami got to make sure that they get Spida. They can't have no situation like last season with Cronin and Portland.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, let's say Spida comes out, I want to be in Miami. I love Bam. I love those guys. What is Heat Nation's willingness to even consider trading Jimmy Butler.
You
for
got to hit.
Donovan
Well,
Mitchell.
it's,
I'm asking Heat Nation. I'm not saying
Well,
it's going to happen. I'm saying
Spider. It's not really. It's what Portland. I mean, I'm sorry. What Cleveland would want from Miami. It's not like what Miami wants to give them.
What I'm saying is basically the nuts and bolts of the trade without all the other little details. But it's basically Spida for Jimmy and maybe a first-round pick. Does Heat Nation start saying, "Oh man, look, we did"?
No, well. Here's the thing.
We did pretty good without Jimmy, and we're kind of tired of his act.
But
Spider's younger, and he
just shot a 3 right now.
And he just buried a 3
deep.
I mean, I'm just
here's
asking,
the pros. Here's the pros.
Heat Nation say
Heat Nation's gonna look at this.
Maybe?
Pros, young player,
that can
bona
score,
fide scorer. But here's the cons.
can't win a playoff series.
Yeah, and Jimmy can carry a series. You've seen
Jimmy's going to be 35 at the beginning of next season.
Oof, that's like 40 in Tibbs' year.
With a bum knee. Well, I'm not saying bum knee. He has an MCL injury. We don't know. But I mean, it's odd that, man, as of 2 weeks ago, ride or die, Heat lifer, Jimmy Butler. Now we're even saying, you feel the offer. I mean, if Spider Mitchell wants to come here, I'm not saying we're going to trade Jimmy, but it seems like Heat Nation is at least willing to listen, as opposed to earlier when I would say these things on the air and I would be crucified. And I go out to Jensen's liquor store and fans would start yelling at me for even suggesting or even talking about it. I don't know. I think Heat Nation is now more willing to listen. And I think it's because you're a little bit like me. I'm spurned that I was told all year, just wait for Jimmy. Jimmy can do whatever the hell he wants. Gets away with highway robbery with the Heat. There's some things behind the scenes. All this other stuff. Gets away with whatever he wants. Carte blanche. Because it's all about playoff Jimmy. And now, we don't, after we were promised this bill of goods, we're not getting it because of an injury. Granted, nonetheless. And then we win a game last night. We blow out the Bulls. Once again, it's the Bulls. But still, nonetheless, I'm spurned a little bit. I was promised something, and they did not deliver. I'm tired of being a hostage, Vlad. I told you I didn't want to be a hostage this year. I said, Heat, just go out there and be a 4 or 5 seed. Don't hold us hostage all year long. So, look what we did last year as 8 seed. They're going to do that again.
But
now
I told you that was going to happen.
I know. I didn't want it, though. And I said, I don't want it to happen.
And that's why the Dame trade, if you had the Dame trade, at least you had something new. The Dame trade would not have had you in the situation that you're in right now.
That's another question. Do you have confidence in Milwaukee? A lot of people are picking the Pacers.
No, I don't.
I tell you, I'm going to be with you, Cousin. Pump your brakes for 5 seconds. Pump your brakes. Milwaukee, I think, can get past the Pacers. And I'm not knocking the Pacers.
Yeah, I'm not.
There's always that sexy pick. Oh, the Pacers, watch out. What's the one in the West that everyone's all like goo goo gaga over, like trying to get the inside scoop on everybody?
They love Dallas in the West.
Yeah.
Dallas is the team that
Dallas.
they love.
Is it Dallas and the Clippers?
Yeah, Dallas Clippers is the series.
4-5.
Yeah.
Clippers, though, they're the Clippers, though.
Right, they choke.
But the thing is, they're okay in the first round. It's the second and third.
They still can
second and
choke.
third, but they're good in the first.
Doesn't matter. They still choke.
Good in the first.
Choking when you choke in the playoffs, it doesn't matter. You just know that there's going to be a choke happening.
Good in the first, though. It's like the Atlanta Braves back in the day. They're good to the World Series. Count it.
That's cool.
Count it.
Get to the World Series, but at least
get
to the. All right, I don't have a problem if you get to the World Series and lose. That means you just can't get over that final.
So you got no problem with the Buffalo Bills making it to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row.
I mean, if I was a Bills fan, I would have a problem, but I'm not a Bills fan, so therefore I have no problem. I just say, look, you are the best of the best in the AFC.
You're always so quick to give us your fandom on things, man.
I don't get because if
saying.
If it doesn't involve my team, I don't give a.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like I don't care. I'm gonna crack jokes on you if you're doing bad, and I'm gonna give you props if you're doing well. But you don't move me. Well, what's gonna move me is at 6 p.m. today. That's what you're gonna get. That's when you're gonna get
That's
fan.
a tough matchup. Are you a little nervous? I mean, you're always nervous in the playoffs, but Donovan Mitchell just threw one up from half court, basically. Nailed a 3.
I'm not.
Man, he's gonna look so good in the Heat uniform. I shouldn't get ahead of myself. We still have a series to play against.
Yeah, you could get ahead of yourself.
A lot of people are getting ahead of themselves.
You can get it. Oh, put it this way. Oh, we won't be on next Sunday either.
Oh, we're not?
No, because Game 4 is next Sunday. We won't be missing Sundays anymore because of the Knicks, because of the Heat after next week.
Okay. But yeah, okay. Look at this. Look at this Donovan Mitchell 3. I want you to watch this, Vlad. A fadeaway with 2 guys in his face, nothing but net. Nice. The Heat, they did defeat the Bulls 112-91. No doubter last night. Tyler Hero looked like the man. That behind the back pass, that was the most exciting thing I saw from him all night. Steal the behind the back pass. He had 24. Jaime Jaquez Jr., he dropped 21. They advanced. They play Boston in the first round. The game is tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Let's go. Pelicans without Zion. They held off the Kings 105-98. They're going to play Oklahoma City in the Western Conference first round. I should have known because I was talking to Big Lynn yesterday and she's like, "Oh, who we playing?" I said, "You playing the Kings." She goes, "Oh, we beat them all 4 times this year. That's a win."
5. I told you you're gonna guys. Like I said, it's like you beat these guys 5 times, and nobody's beaten a team 6 times in the season since back in the day, like 90s.
Got their number,
Like the
man.
Sonics over the Timberwolves or some crap like that.
Got their number.
Like you beat them with your best player. Sacramento, go sit down.
Typical fan. We'll find a way to lose. Nope. Okay, cool. I was 100%
I
all
can tell
in
you this
on the
right now,
Heat,
Kings
though.
fans. You could light a different beam now today.
Now, well, yeah, it's a record store day. NBA playoffs are going on right now. Magic and Cavs are playing. Donovan Mitchell.
Who you got,
doing
Cavs
Donovan Mitchell.
or Magic?
I said in the whole series, I got the Magic.
You got the Magic.
I got the Cavs winning today.
Okay.
Home court advantage. 3:30, you get Suns Timberwolves.
Who you
That's
got-
juicy.
who you
That's
got in that?
juicy. Man, I want to. My heart says Timberwolves, but my wallet says Suns. Is that accurate for you at least?
Your heart says Timberwolves.
Because I want them to win, and I think they're the better team.
I
but
don't think your wallet's saying
my wallet's saying
Suns.
Suns.
I think your brain is saying Suns. I don't think it's your wallet.
I really want the Timberwolves to win that one, but I think the Suns got enough to get through a series.
I think Phoenix wins because that's the other thing. There's another series that have
that's
heat
that's gonna
heat-
blow up the Suns.
that's a heat implication series right there. Because if the Suns lose in the first round, they get like trounced, like nasty work. Oh man, they might have to in one. Yeah,
That's always so exciting when a team gets this super team, and it always seems to involve Kevin Durant, and they don't even come close to fulfilling what you think is going to happen, like the Brooklyn Nets a couple of years ago. These Suns teams, you look at them at first, you're like, "Whoa, it's going to be a walk to the championship," and then it doesn't happen. It's like
Devin Booker, heat implications. Kevin Durant, heat implications.
I don't like Devin Booker. You know why? 2 reasons.
Oh,
Two.
come on, because of
Two-
Bad Bone.
2 petty reasons. Yeah, Baboni, and because when the Pelicans were playing him in that first round of the playoffs and he got hurt, he pulled his hamstring. He and the Suns blamed the Pelicans for speeding up the pace of the game and trying to win. Thus, he got injured. Wow, sorry we had a strategy where we were trying to win. How dare we? And he was just sitting there, yeah. You should slow down. You hurt me. Like we didn't physically go after you. I don't know. 76ers Knicks. Vlad, I'm going to tell you this straight up, bro.
Go ahead.
I got your Knicks winning the series.
Yeah, so do I.
I do.
In 5.
I'm objective. I like the 7. I like, I love Kelly Oubre Jr. Should be here in South Florida. Should be back in New Orleans. One of those 2 teams. But I don't think he's enough with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. I think
Kelly
the Knicks-
Oubre looks like a local weed seller.
I like Kelly Oubre because he one of them cluckers in New Orleans, man. You know what I mean? He looks like a clucker for him. He's from New Orleans, but everything. Nuggets, Lakers, don't buy the smoke. It is record store day, and it's the Nuggets Lakers. I didn't even mean to make that joke, Vlad. I'm kind of delirious.
Lakers gonna win.
Vlad, don't buy that smoke. It's record store day. It's Lakers, Nuggets. Get it? Lakers are going to win the series or the game.
I'm going on. Yeah, I think Lakers win in 7.
Your heart or your wallet? I'm trying to give you outs on this one.
No, I'm gonna be the one. I'll be the one to take it.
Mark the tape right there. I do that for reasons because you can watch us back on YouTube, and I'll mark
Yeah.
the tapes for the record. You got
Listen.
the Lakers winning against the defending championship Nuggets on the road, basically,
Mhm.
in the first round of the playoffs
Mhm.
with Nikola Jovic,
Jokic.
Jamal Murray. I wish we could trade for it.
Yeah,
I wish we could switch those 2. I mean, I ain't knocking the young guy, but wow. I got the Nuggets easy. Don't buy the smoke. Panther. Oh, another one. I hate to ask, Vlad. Panthers Lightning. They renew their playoff rivalry tomorrow at 12:30. Is this the year we exercise our demons with the Lightning? Because I feel as though if you can get past the Lightning in the first round, it's not smooth sailing, but you got rid of those monkeys off your back and the ghosts in the closet and
In
the
every
skeletons.
series,
Can we just do this?
in every series, I think the Panthers have the goalie advantage, except for one.
God, especially God, the playoffs. It's the playoffs, dude. He's so
And
good.
and it just so happens
He's so good.
and it just so happens you're playing him in the first round. And they got mind control over the
I
Panthers.
know.
Like, that's the thing. I like it
Well,
because, you don't. I like it for this reason. I think it's gonna go 7, to be quite honest.
great.
But the traveling's not gonna kill the
Nope.
the players.
Nope.
But jeez,
And this is the other thing.
that team is just, they've so playoff tested.
Yeah, I
They're
know. They know
they're
how to
they're
win.
former Stanley Cup champions, and if that guy gets hot again, it's over.
And you know,
It's over if
I'm-
he gets hot. If Vasily forget about it. It's Rap City, USA.
I'm always at all the hockey places. You know, Funky Buddha, they're an actual sponsor. They're the craft beer sponsor of the Panthers. And then on Wednesdays, I'm at 26 Degree Brewing in Pompano Beach. And of course, Duffy's on Thursdays and Fridays. That's right by the Amarin Bank Arena. And I was peacocking on Wednesday at 26 Degree Brewing, talking to someone's like, oh, yeah, remember we whooped up on Tampa 9-2? They go, what was the score of the most recent game y'all played? I was like, wow, it's like 5-3. You guys won, whatever. They're like, yeah, remember that. I'm like, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. AJ Puck, don't do this to me. Yeah, I know. I cough too, man. Don't do this to me. Gave up 7 over 3 innings as the Marlins fell 8-3 to the Cubs. Doubleheader today. 2:20 is the first game. And in the following game, Jesus Luzardo is supposed to take the bump for the Fish. It's a neck and neck battle between the Marlins and the White Sox to see who can be the worst team in Major League Baseball. White Sox are 3-15. We're 4-15.
All right. So we went to the game on Thursday.
Yeah. I thought AJ Puck was going to be pitching.
We went to the game on Thursday.
No, Wednesday.
Was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was Wednesday.
3-1 Giants.
Right. It was Wednesday afternoon.
Great time.
There was a lot of kids there.
I didn't think there was a ton of kids. There was some kids there.
There was a lot of kids.
Wait till we go next time. Wait till we go later in the summer when camps are in session.
We need more. Take the day off. Take the businessman day special. Go support the Marlins. It was, dude, we had like 6 rows to ourselves. Like they need more fans, but the fans are not going to come out if you're putting up that type of performance. They haven't won back-to-back games all year.
Nope. Yet to put a winning streak together.
And
you're only 20 games into the year, by the way. And it's baseball.
I've been to more Marlins games this year.
You've been to more, Vlad, we've done the math.
Than wins.
You've been to more Marlins games this year than the Marlins actually have wins. I think you've been to like 5 games this year, and they've only won 4. That should never happen unless you are a season ticket holder. And you are not.
No, I'm not.
You are not.
Shout out to your boy, man.
Nathan.
Shout out to Nathan. Thanks.
Much love, man.
Absolutely.
I got to go see Giuseppe and Nathan tomorrow. Today? We'll figure that out. Inter Miami, they stay on the top of the Eastern Conference standings in MLS. The Herons, they host Nashville SC. That is going to be tonight, 7:30. Messi, a full go. Jordi Alba on the injured list. Speaking of Inter Miami, congratulations. Cryptocurrency company Polkadot has entered an $8.8 million sponsorship deal with them. Their logo is going to appear on their training kits.
Speaking of football, what a week. Did you see the Champions League games this week?
Whoa! Who would have seen the Final Four in Champions League? PSG, Mbappe, those guys come from way behind and win big time
At
on
Barcelona.
aggregates.
Unbelievable.
Barcelona just crapped the bed.
Well, I mean, they were playing with 10. Guy got a red card and got thrown out.
Yeah.
And then
but PSG's been known to
and then their manager got thrown out too. Xavi got
Xavi,
thrown out.
done.
Xavi got, yeah, so he
Bye,
was done.
Xavi.
So that
No
was
longer.
that. And then my team.
Are you a Man City guy?
No, my team. The Kings of Europe. What a game. What a win. They went into England. They went to Manchester. And they scored a quick goal. And then they were holding on. Man City came at them so.
And Man City's great.
Man City's so damn good. Pep, you're a hell of a manager. But they were coming in. They finally scored a goal, and it was 1-1. And that whole game was unbelievable. Man City, Real Madrid was an unbelievable game. And then watching it at home, and then coming back here, and then getting to see the penalty kicks.
The Pins, yes.
The Pens win, and Real Madrid has moved on to the semifinals to take on Bayern Munich.
Yeah, so you get no English Premier League teams, by the way.
No English Premier League
Two
teams.
German teams. You get Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich.
One
and
Ligue 1.
Ligue 1, PSG, who are always choking around the 16. They've now made it to the Final Four.
And one Spanish team.
And of course, you get Real
Madrid.
You
could have had 3 Spanish
Barcelona would have just put it together.
And Atletico.
Yeah, that's true. Atletico fell down. Right now, Chelsea and Man City are playing. It's a scoreless draw.
And tomorrow, after you watch Heat Celtics and you watch Panthers Lightning, hopefully you're celebrating a win, you could turn on El Clásico. Barcelona versus Real Madrid.
I'm gonna watch that Pelicans game tomorrow night at 9:30.
Yeah. So this is a great weekend of sports.
There's plenty to go around. And let's get an Inter Miami win tonight too. I want those 3 points and get moving. Speaking of moving, let's move on over to the day spa. Due to a law firm's clerical error, a British couple that had been married for 21 years suddenly found themselves divorced. If you're that guy,
Due to a clerical error.
Yeah.
A couple that's okay. How is this I'm just trying to figure this out. What's the clerical error?
They were doing some legal work with the legal place, but I don't know. Instead of them filing whatever they were meant to file, they filed
them as a divorce instead of like filing like joint whatever.
Or they were just going to like sue somebody or maybe make a will.
So do they have to get remarried again?
If you're the guy, no.
No, that's it.
You're done. Legally, you are divorced. Doesn't matter about the.
And no, this is great because you're leaving like nobody's getting anything. Like everybody's leaving with like what they have.
Yeah, there's no terms
because there was no terms or conditions. They effed up.
Sounds good to me.
I'm out.
Dude, I'm so
on a
gone.
technicality. Absolutely,
so gone. I mean, I don't care if you're happily married. Whatever. I'm gone.
I'm out.
I'm gone.
I ain't official.
That's a hall pass.
Hall pass. It ain't even a hall
Life
pass. Life. I've done 21 years with you. I've probably known you for 2 to 3 years. So it's been a quarter of a century. We good.
We're good.
I'm out.
So happy. So happy. Chris Sims is at it again. He hates Tua Tagovailoa. I'm out on Chris Sims too. Not really, but we'll hear what he has to say next here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
feature where you can listen to any part of any show you might have missed anytime. Get it now and make WQAM your favorite station.
Thank you for joining us on this Record Store Day 560 WQAM Sports Day, taking you to 4 o'clock. My dude, Heat Colt has jumped in, roasted nuts, dropping some knowledge on us in the comments, of course, of the YouTube and Twitch 560 WQAM. You can listen on the Odyssey app. You can also jump in 305-567-0560 or the old-fashioned radio. Still my favorite way to listen to things. All you do is go to 560 WQAM on your dial. Chris Sims. He hasn't always been critical of Tua, but he hasn't always been the most supportive of Tua. A lot of Dolphins fans not so happy with what he oftentimes does have to say about Tua Tagovailoa, and he recently talked about, everyone seems to be talking about it too, Tua contract negotiations. Everyone has an opinion on what should be done or shouldn't be done. Chris Sims on Pro Football Focus weighed in the other day and said it's really just kind of a one-team race.
Hey, Chris Greer, right? He's tied to Tua. There's a lot of pressure with him in the Tua situation. It didn't work out with Brian Flores. Everybody knows Justin Herbert's better than Tua in the NFL. We know Joe Burrow's in another stratosphere. Oh, no, Jordan Love's starting to look like you might want him over a Tua long-term, right? And where I worry about the Dolphins is Chris Greer gonna tie himself to such a point with Tua and prove that, oh, he is good and he's the guy, that he's gonna hurt the rest of the football team kind of to save his own ass a little bit about the Tua pick. That's what I would worry about. What are they gonna pay him? What are you gonna pay him? Like, just like I would say we talked about the Cowboys, or what I would say with the Giants last year. Who are you negotiating against, right? What's the number, right? Don't just throw a number out there because you think you need to throw that number out there, right? They could throw, like last year with Daniel Jones. Why $40 million a year? Why? You could have gave him 34, and I think that you could have gone, tell me some other team that would give you 34 or 32. Show us that team. Oh, Crickets? That's right. And I think like you could do the same thing with Tua. But these teams negotiate against themselves right now with certain situations and go, here's this. No, we'll give you more. We'll give you more. And it makes no sense. And I feel like the Dolphins are going to do that with Tua.
Now, I do believe that Tua, I'm going to agree with the point that Tua and Chris Greer are pretty connected. Chris Greer wants to prove and wants to at least believe that he made the right pick. I think he did make the right pick. That's not the problem. But he also needs to say that, well, if I made the right pick, I need to pay Tua. I do not agree that it is a one-team race for Tua and that they're bidding against themselves, Vlad.
That's an interesting take, because I think, that's ridiculous. Tua is a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, so the services are going to be wanted.
Right. And obviously, if you have, and I don't think anybody has any quarterback from the 2021 draft. I think the only one that's still starting is Sunshine. So,
bad draft.
Yeah, but if Tua's going to be available, teams are going to, teams will sign him.
Yes.
Teams will sign him. Now, is it going to have to be some ideal situations for him? Yeah, because I don't think any cold weather team is signing Tua. You know what I mean? But also, here's the other problem. Most teams have their quarterbacks or are drafting their quarterbacks to get, set up, develop, whatever. So in that retrospect, maybe he's not, I can't say they're bidding against themselves, but maybe the market might not be as many as once was thought. You know what I mean?
I think, Chris Sims kind of got caught in the air saying not so much that the Dolphins are bidding against themselves. We know if you're a good player, especially a good quarterback, and you become available, some team, and it only takes one team like the Giants or something to pay somebody a stupid amount of money. But being a good quarterback, being available, it only takes one team to pay a lot. So I don't think that you're bidding against yourself. I think that, and if we just put him out on the free agent market and said, test the waters, he wouldn't find somebody. He would. He'd find a good deal. There's a lot of teams that would want him. I mean, maybe even in New Orleans, getting tired of
if Tua's available next season, Denver doesn't draft a quarterback. I don't know. Maybe
Sean exactly. Payton. I think what he meant more is that Dolphins, be careful of overpaying him. Don't be in a rush so much to get everything signed, sealed, and delivered with Tua. The advantages of signing Tua is number one, he's happy. Number two, maybe you can back in some of that money and get some of the guys you might need to help him out now. And also, you lock him in and you're good and you don't have to worry about all that stuff. But the thing is, he's still got another year on his contract. He's still going to get paid.
Wait, is this his last year?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are we in such a
Well, give him the extension that he doesn't have to worry about next year.
right? That's what I'm saying.
You have a franchise quarterback that's going into this season 2024 with his conscience clear. Like he doesn't have to worry about
Right.
my money or anything like that. Plus, if you really love the kid and you stick with McDaniel, even though I think his Nike fits is on the burner, on the Foreman grill. I mean, this is season 3, and you're not as talented as you were the past 2 seasons. So, but the AFC East has definitely gotten less strong.
Right. It's kind of taking a step, at least on paper, or as we see.
Or it's more, at least the 3 teams are more even than before. Buffalo was always still the king, the Kings, but they lost Stephon Diggs. Jordan Poyer went to the Dolphins. They lost a lot of players. Miami lost some key players. They signed some vets. Nobody knows what's going to happen with injuries to players late in the season. Jalen, Bradley Chubb. We don't know when they're going to come back. So this is why this upcoming Thursday is going to be critical. That first round pick is big because that person's going to have to be impactful. Yeah, he's going to have to make an impact on this roster.
Absolutely. And got to play right away.
And back on the Tua contract, here's the other thing. You sign Tua now, then you can go in and ask him, can he restructure his contract next season for you to make move to sign certain players, a la Jalen Waddle, and make moves in the free agent market.
Here's what I'd like.
It might be smart money-wise to give him the contract now.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Here's what I'd like the Dolphins to do with every player, much less Tua especially. Treat it like a business. Do this. Go to Tua and give him a deal you feel is fair, maybe a little on the lighter side, and say, go ahead and sign it. Because Tua might look at it and say, you know what? A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. This is a sure thing. This is a contract. This is an extension. This is going to get me paid. I'm going to be okay. I also know that if I tell them, like Christian Wilkins, I'm going to bet on myself, and he gets hurt really bad next year, all that money goes away. So you're kind of in a weird situation. Like, we want you, you want us. Let's try to meet somewhere maybe in the middle, maybe not this highly paid because we've ridden with you through all this. Maybe you need to take this deal. And Tua might say, no, I want to get paid this. And they say, okay, play it out, earn it next year. Oh, don't get hurt, by the way, because if you have a serious injury, then there might not be a lot of bidding out there for Tua. So Dolphins, I think what you should do is you either ride out this final year or, not saying lowball them, but give them a fair deal, but on the lower side of a fair deal offer.
That's nasty work.
Hey, it's a business, Vlad. Is it a business or is it a family? Which one is it? Do you want your football team to be more business or more family oriented?
Business.
Yeah. I mean, if Tua wants to play for free, we'll take it. I mean, no, actually, that's not fair. We'll pay him. We'll pay him a little bit of money, but you got to pay a minimum anyways. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I mean, I have no problem with them putting an offer on the table like they did to Odell Beckham Jr., like they did to Dalvin Cook, and saying, here's the offer. He can counter and say, here's the offer. Still got you for another year. You can choose to either take this sure thing. Maybe it's not what you want, but at least you have security, or play it out. Bet on yourself. But know that there's a ceiling that can be very, very high, but there's also a basement that can be very, very low. That's why I say put the offer on the table, throw it out there, and then let the chips fall where they may. Sounds pretty good to me. Of course, I'm not a general manager of anything, much less the Dolphins. Want to say Tua stay here. I don't want to go into the draft. I don't want to get anybody else. I want Tua to be our quarterback, but at the same time, I also want the rest of the team to put themselves in the best position they can with the best players and everything else like that. So it's going to be interesting. Does the deal get done in this offseason, Vlad, or is it one of those things that kind of just lingers?
It's about to happen. It's going to happen. I think as early as this week and as no later than May.
No later than May.
when the NFL schedule's released.
Okay. If it's not done by May, it's done. It's not getting done.
No, it still could be done. It could be done right before the season starts, bro. That's how Herbert and all these other guys some of these guys got their deals.
Okay, so let's wait till the beginning of the season. We got
I'm
all
saying
the,
before the season starts.
yeah,
Like training camp.
right, but yeah, like when the season's about to start. It's interesting. Like if I'm the general manager or I'm the Dolphins, here's the deal: take it or leave it. We love you, you love us. We stuck by you. I think it's fair. It's a lot of security. It's sure things. It's money. Or we can, bet on each other. Bet on yourself. Go out there, win some December games. We'd love to pay you a ton of money, Tua. We'd love to pay you a ton of money. We'd love to play a playoff winner tour money. So go out there and earn it. Don't get hurt. Do not get hurt. Keeping it a buck, Vlad. We're going to keep it a buck real quick next here on Sports Day 560 WQAM. It's that special time of the week where Vlad and I keep it a buck, 100% real. Keeping it real, I've already said it once, but now I'm going to explain myself. The Heat are going to get at least one game in the series against the Celtics, and I'll explain why. Number one, pro team, you're in the playoffs, you got a lot of pride. Number two, still have Bam Adebayo. You have Tyler Hero playing at a very high level. Jaime Jaquez Jr., he's going to get some games in there. Terry Rozier, maybe he comes back. A little extra motivation against his former team. Oh, yeah, you also got
what's
Eric
his status?
Spoelstra.
Does anybody know his
Just
status?
waiting on his neck, man. But you got to feel he's going to want to try to come back against the Celtics at some point, his former team. Eric Spoelstra, we already know what he can do to Joe Mazzulla. You get at least 2 home games in this series. You got pride on the line, not Celtic pride, Heat culture pride. I think you get at least 1 win in this series, maybe 2. That's why. And I was just justifying it. That's why I'm keeping it a buck. Vlad, what do you want to keep a buck?
I guess what? You just skipped out of the buck. Keep it a buck. I'm excited for these NBA playoffs. I think
Of course.
I think this weekend is it's up there, man. NBA, the first round, the first weekend, it's up there as one of the best sports weekends.
It really is. It's so exciting because anything can happen.
And it happens to fall on, a special holiday. And the fact that you also
Record store day.
Record store day, spark one up.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you gotta hit the wax sometimes, Seriously. Our boss Lynn is probably celebrating Record Store Day like crazy right now.
No, he's not.
No, he is.
Yeah.
Lynn loves vinyl.
I know he loves vinyl. I know. He doesn't like Chronicle.
Oh, that's a good album, man. I love that Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. But I'm sorry, I distracted. It's during the holiday.
It's a great. Listen, you have a great sports weekend. You also have the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight tonight. That's gonna be good. Got to keep it a buck. Love the NBA weekend and also NHL's NHL playoff weekend.
Yeah, that's
when the
exciting,
NBA and NHL both start their playoff weekends. You're about to go on a 2-month
rabbit hole.
Not even rabbit hole, up and down. It's gonna be a roller coaster, and hopefully, for one team, it ends very well. Go Panthers. Except if you go against the Rangers, then it's go Rangers. But
Rangers won that President's Trophy. Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
I'd like to thank you and your team for taking that bullet.
That was the hockey god saying, "Oh, Vlad, you don't want the Panthers to get it. Well, I'll give you another team you love. I'll give you the team that you really love. I'll give them the President's Cup." And we all know they are so cursed when the Rangers are always cursed.
The betting odds went down on the Rangers when they won the President's Trophy.
Dude, they're cursed. They
really did. I was looking.
No, bro, it's every time the Rangers win the President's Cup, except for the one year, the 94, they've always lost.
Keep it a buck. You do not want that President's Cup.
Nah, that's a jinx.
That's what I'm talking about. Vlad, you and I took a little afternoon the other day, made a little trip to Little Havana. We're going to talk about that next here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
It's time for Sports Day. Turn it up. It's Sports Day with Dan Day.
Midweek, we decided to take this show on the road to Little Havana. That is right. My cousin Vladimir Lusa and I decided what's better than a little bit of midweek baseball team with one of the teams that has one of the worst records in all of baseball? What's better than a little Wednesday action? Wednesday at noon action. So, make a plan. Let's meet at the radio station. We'll kind of gather ourselves, make a little run on out to Lone Depot Park, check out our favorite, or at least my favorite baseball team, see what they got against the Giants, who aren't also very good either. Nonetheless, so Vlad, it all starts. I'm here at the Wait radio station, and you're not at first.
Traffic.
Yeah, bad traffic. Get on the interstate.
Bad traffic on the turnpike leading into the 95 going south. So boom.
So okay.
And also bad by me. I really thought the game was going to start at 1.
I was going to get to that.
Didn't know that the game started at noon. But I still left at 10:30.
You did leave early, and I figured, you were planning on just getting there for the first pitch. No big deal. So you get here. I'm in the parking lot. I'll walk down, and then what?
Oh,
a series of terrible events.
It was a series of terrible events. So as I'm pulling into the driveway of work in the building, all of a sudden, my car shuts off and shuts on. And it was happening like that for like the last, anytime I would hit a bump, the radio would go off and come back on. I was wondering what was going on. So then I popped the hood. I noticed that something was getting next to the battery, causing a spark. I said, ew. I checked again. I was like, don't worry about it. It'll make it. I got me to work. We'll be good. Turned it on. Then it shut off. I was like, nah. No, we're not doing it.
I walk out on the parking lot. You're touching the battery, and every time you touch the battery, it jumps and sparks. It goes,
yeah.
And you were like, okay, well, we'll be all right. You get in the car, the battery.
Mind you, this is why I'm upset. It's because I just changed my alternator 5 days ago. So I know that it couldn't be that because the alternator it's a new alternator. Battery's good. Got it less than a year ago. So they understand what's going on. I'll get to that later.
So we decide, okay, Vlad, we can't trust your vehicle that's got a battery jumping, dancing like a Mexican jumping bean, and the engine seems to be halfway shutting down the radio. So we decide we'll take my car. Mind you, my car was involved in a accident the other day to where it got rammed in both. It's a crunched car. It was rammed between two cars. So it's pretty darn beat up. And yep, we have to jump off my car because the battery's also dying. So now this is a nice little scene. So beautiful. Now here's where the story gets good. Zero traffic on Wednesday at like 12:30 in Little Havana.
Now I'm thinking to myself, mind you, I'm still thinking that the game started at noon. At 1. So I'm thinking to myself, we're gonna get there. It wasn't until we got to Havana. Dan was like, yeah, man, maybe we'll get to third inning. I was like, third inning? Oh man, we're gonna see the game. No, the game starts at noon.
Yeah. So
noon? No way. There's no way it starts at noon. It's a 9 a.m. game for San Francisco. There's no. Then you look. Yeah, it was a noon game. I'm like, Jesus.
So we're getting ready to park, and I'm like, maybe we'll park a little further away in the neighborhood because he's probably going to be crowded around the stadium, and I just want to park for free. But we kept getting closer and closer and closer and closer. So finally, let's just park. I'm parking, and
Best decision ever.
We get out and start walking. I'm like, yeah, we'll probably make it to 30. And you're like, well, why would it be so late? I'm like, because the game started at noon, Vlad. And you're like, oh, I thought it started at 1.
I really did. I didn't know they'd start noon games in the middle of the afternoon. Who does that?
Nonetheless, zero traffic, easy in, easy sit down. Now, as far as the stadium and, the atmosphere, I liked it. I thought it was great. The mezzanine where you can walk around and the food choices and drink choices, great viewing experience.
Food selection at Lone Depot Park is pretty good.
Beautiful. I mean, we had a whole almost section to ourselves.
We did have a section to ourselves.
Met up with dude Nathan, who works with the Marlins, hung out. The play on the field was
what I expect for a early afternoon game.
So it was 1-0 when we got there, and I will give the Marlins credit. They made a run. They got the bases. I don't know if they were loaded. No, they had a guy on first and third with 1 out, and Luis Arraez is up. Okay, best hitter in the game. He can either deep fly ball or maybe even get a hit. Grounds into a double play.
I was, when we were
It wasn't
talking,
no doubter of a double
and
play.
here's the thing, we were talking. I was like, oh yeah, we're definitely getting a run in. They're getting a run in because there's no way you're gonna double up Arias, right?
Best hitter in the game.
Boom, ground ball right to the shortstop.
I mean, it was fast too. Like, it was a no doubter. Like, they could have fumbled, they could have mumbled, they could have underhanded it. They have still gotten everybody. So Vlad's still holding on. We're going to extras. It don't matter. We're going to extras. Brian De La Cruz, my dude, favorite player on the team. Bomb. 1-1. Maybe you're right, Vlad. And then the bullpen took over.
Yeah.
So the Giants won 3-1. Once again, not a lot of fireworks at the game.
No,
I
but it was good eye candy to look at.
will say the bad ones, they were out and about on a noon Wednesday early season baseball game. I mean, really? And Nathan told us that's not out of the ordinary.
A lot of kids.
I thought there was less kids than usual. Wait till we now, Vlad, that is our special now. We've decided to go to almost every game that starts at noon midweek that we can possibly go
Absolutely,
to.
I want to get drunk.
I know. Now, next game, we'll get into next games. It's going to be really good. We're kind of hurried this game. So, our intake and our craziness was a little lower. And, we had to feel our way through this thing because it's our first time of the season. You don't want to.
No, the roof wasn't open.
Yes, thank goodness.
That was another thing I was upset with that menu. The roof wasn't open. It's a 12 o'clock game and the roof wasn't open. But I get it, the shadows, but still, the roof should have been open.
They said there's a list of conditions the Marlins have to check off to open the roof. That's coming
Exactly.
from the Marlins themselves. They said if everything isn't checked, they don't open the roof. So apparently there was some reason, whether it be wind or whatnot, wasn't open. Leaving the game, literally, Vlad walked out, got in the car, no traffic. I thought it might have a trouble taking a left turn at some point because it's a major city. Nope. Took a left turn right out, whoop, onto a major street. Got home. We had more traffic around the radio station than we did for the baseball game. Beautiful.
Then I got back to the station, checked on my car, called AAA, found out the mechanic who put the alternator in.
It was incorrect.
Well, no, they put the alternator correct. He just forgot to secure the battery.
Mm-hmm.
And the battery was moving. That's why it was going in and out.
So what do we learn for next Marlins trip, which is going to be May 2nd, by the way, Wednesday, May 2nd, 12:10, Vlad, 12:10, first pitch. We got a couple plans now. Now everybody wants to join in us because they enjoyed our story and the Marlins games and all that stuff, and they love the Marlins. I don't know. Nonetheless, so we're going to meet in the parking lot probably around 10:30. Maybe go to Jensen's liquor store, hydrate a little bit, get ready. Still parking this. I actually kept a picture of where we parked because I was like, oh, God,
I know where
I'm not going to remember. Okay, but I kept a picture. Might get there a little early and take a walk, get some exercise. Now, don't worry about hearing as we're walking or whatever else you might hear when we're walking. Walk around, try to roll up in that bad boy about 12 or 11:55. Maybe go to one of those, that 305 bar, that secret bar in center field. Maybe get 1 or 2 beers right there. Sit back, enjoy the game. Roof open or unopened. And then come on back.
It was nothing better than leaving the stadium at 2:45.
Yeah, it was.
You know how great that is that you saw if you went to a baseball game and you left at 2:45 and you got the rest of the day for yourself.
We had the rest of the day. I actually had time to go to the gym, work out, do a bunch of things. It was interesting, man. It was fun. But it was a great experience. I mean, really good experience. If you have not been to a Marlins game and you're saying they suck, I don't want to go, that's not the whole point. It's the whole experience. And, maybe the Marlins will start playing better. They, whatever. Don't just be one of those people that says they suck. I don't want to go there. Or also, I mean, it's your prerogative. I don't like the people like, I go to see the other team. Okay. Okay.
I mean, I'm not knocking them, though. I mean, they don't think the product on the field is great.
Just go to experience. It was a fun experience. I mean, like I said, the fireworks were none at that game.
What's
3-1.
All right, let me ask you this. But okay, in all honesty, Dan, if you're going to a stadium, you're there but you're there for your team to win at the long run. At the end of the day, that's what you're there for.
Is it?
So yes.
I was just hanging out, man.
Dude, they can hang out anywhere. They want to hang out. Like, you're gonna hang out, but you're not gonna go there to hang out, watch the team lose. It's craziness. You
The
might as
win
well
is an
just hang
added
out at your
bonus.
house
The
or
win's
go
an
to a
added bonus.
bar. The win is an added bonus? No. But I don't have children. Maybe bringing a child out, yeah, that's an experience.
Well,
but no, I'm the child.
That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of a child. I'm there for
Well, I'm the child.
I
I'm an
need the
adult child,
stimulation.
and I want to win.
Okay.
The stimulation is great when they win.
I've been to so many losses in my life to everything that I've gone to. It's just like, whatever. Spent a lot of time watching losing teams. I mean, look, New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans. Where else have I watched losing teams? New Orleans Dolphins. Oh, man. Hopefully we had some winners last night. All we do is win, no matter what. The Heat, they defeated the Bulls 112-91. Tyler Hero, 24. Jaime Jaquez Jr., 21. They advanced to play in Boston. Round 1, game 1. Tomorrow, 1. Just remember the number 1.
And 12:30.
12:30, that's going to be for the Panthers, game 1 tomorrow. Amerant Bank Arena against
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Pelicans also won yesterday.
You can hear that game on 790.
790 because you got the Heat game right
Radio
here on
Libre.
560
Yes.
WQAM.
Doug Plakins will have your call with my boy Bill Lindsay.
Let's talk about some playoff action. First, hockey, because it's a little bit shorter of a schedule today. 5 o'clock, Islanders, Hurricanes. Hurricanes, the betting favorites to win it all. 8 o'clock, Maple Leafs and Bruins face off. We beat both of those teams last year in the playoffs. So,
That's an original 6. So NHL is happy with that. That's an original 6 rivalry.
talk about some basketball. NBA right now, you got the Magic and the Cavs. They were on a very long streak of not scoring, Vlad. I was watching. It's a very exciting game. The Cavs are up by like 6 or something. It's getting close to halftime. At 3:30, Suns Timberwolves. Going to be interesting to see who emerges in that one. 6 o'clock, 76ers Knicks. Vlad is going to be putting on the wax, listening to some tunes and watching that game for Record Store Day. And then at 8:30, Nuggets Lakers. And there are still people out there that believe the Lakers are going to win that series.
Oh, that person's Vlad. Vlad's going to be fired up tonight after the show.
You got 76ers Knicks at 6. We get off at 4. So by the time you get home and relax, it's going to be game time.
Well, I'm not making moves for at least a good 20 minutes.
What's making moves?
Like after the show's over.
Are you going to hang out here?
At least for 20 minutes.
Why are you hanging out here for 20 minutes?
I'm making moves at 4:20.
I forget it's Record Store Day. NFL Draft. Don't forget it's Thursday in Detroit. The Dolphins have the 21st pick. Chris Greer has already said no interest in getting a quarterback, which I think speaks for itself.
I mean, yeah, they're about to pay the man.
And we'll see about that. Canes baseball team, no way to put it. They have really gone into a tailspin. They fell to Louisville 9-5 last night. They lost to Bethune-Cookman midweek. I'm not knocking Bethune-Cookman. I'm just saying you're the University of Miami. You're at home, Bethune-Cookman, now Louisville. Game 2 is tonight at 8. Inter Miami, believe it or not, they're tops in the Eastern Conference standings of the MLS. They're tied for the most points in the MLS. They're going to host a team that used to be really good. They seem to be slipping a little bit right now. Nashville SC, that is tonight at 7:30. Messi a full go. Jordi Alba on the injured list. The NHL has officially approved the Arizona Coyotes' move to Salt Lake City, where they are expected to play next season. I was in Phoenix recently, Vlad. It's not a huge sports town. I'll give you credit for that. I don't know why I'm giving you credit.
I told you that.
I forgot about the Cardinals. I ended up going by some bar and I saw like Bud Light and they had like a neon sign and had the Cardinals. And I was like, oh, Cardinals. I was like, oh, wait, we're in Phoenix. A little bit of Suns love. I mean, they're kind of ingrained because they've been there for a while. They've been to some championships. They've been to, not one. And nothing about the Coyotes. And really the only Diamondbacks I saw was when I drove by the stadium.
Well, the stadium and the arena are right next to each other.
Right, they're right next to each other.
I like Phoenix, man. I like that.
I like the city, but I don't think it's a great sports city.
I don't know of it as a great sports city, but it's a great city to host the Super Bowl.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's a basketball town. Man, maybe a little bit. Everybody's a football.
I don't know.
town.
I think you know what it is. It's one of those towns that good job, we out of the inning. It's one of those cities that once the team gets hot, they'll ride with the team. So like the Diamondbacks went to the I think they went to the
World Series last year.
Did they went to the World Series? That's who Texas beat, right?
Yes, that is who Texas beat.
Yeah. Okay. So
the
they
Diamondbacks had a very similar record to the Marlins last year.
Okay.
Actually, a little bit of a worse record. Go ahead.
So yeah, So once the team does well, they'll ride with it. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
every city.
And yeah, that's basically every city. But if they're not, it's like, meh. You could put it this way. You can go to Phoenix. Heat fans can go to Phoenix and get some good seats to watch the Heat and Suns.
I'm going to break it down for the Coyotes and what happened. And South Florida also take a little bit of note because there are certain similarities, whether you like to hear it or not. I think we support the team a little more nonetheless. Number one, you are in a very warm climate city. Actually, you're in a desert. Here in South Florida, we're more in a swamp or in a jungle.
You're in a city in a desert, and you're not far away from other markets, other cities to have fun in.
Well, your city in a desert with a team that's not very well established, that's not very good. And you have a large population that is transplants, meaning they don't have very much loyalty to your team. So, therefore, you don't have a lot of loyal fans that don't really follow the team, that haven't really followed the team. You're in a desert. So even native people and people that are there don't really know that much about ice hockey. Growing up in warm weather, I didn't know much about ice hockey for a long time. And you put out a crap product and you weren't very, extending to the community. So therefore, you had really bad attendance and you had bad ownership, and all that goes together.
I mean, they moved from, they weren't getting fans to go to the whatever the arena is called, where the Suns play.
Right.
I think they were also sharing that for the hockey team.
But they moved downtown, which is a mess kind of in Phoenix. So that kind of messed things up. They should probably do like what the Panthers do, move out. And I'm not saying the suburbs, but
they did.
They did, because they were trying to get out to like Tempe.
Right, and they couldn't. And then they had to
they got voted down by the people.
So then if the people of the state are saying that they can't do it, then it's time to bounce.
Salt Lake City. And we know Salt Lake City, there's nothing to do there except go to sporting events. You can drink, but not a lot of drinking, not a lot of partying, not a lot of other things to do.
Oh, that's partying.
Underground.
Well, or within.
So be careful. I mean,
it's Mormontown.
Yeah. But
Big love.
They'll go to some now they got hockey and basketball in Salt Lake City. Still not enough to convince me to go visit, but enjoy the beautiful scenery out there. I don't know. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. A 69-year-old Australian man broke a world record when he drank at 120 bars in just 24 hours.
What did he drink?
Yeah, it's kind of misleading, but I was just saying 120 bars, 24 hours. It's the weekend, man. The gauntlet's been thrown down. Let's go.
I just want to know what he was drinking.
No, you have to drink one drink, but they don't have to be alcohol.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it has to be like a 25% of your drinks have to be alcohol. Because, I mean, you die if you drank 120 beers in 24 hours. Possibly. You got a high tolerance.
Some people have a tolerance.
That's a lot, Vlad.
I'm not saying that myself. No.
I'm trying to think on when I say best night, also my worst night. Like, how many beers could I put down in 24 hours?
Well, let's wait. Do you have PEDs?
What's PED? Oh, performance enhancing drugs?
Yeah.
No, you can't do PEDs. It's not fair. Unped'd in 24 hours, I could probably knock down, let's say 4 an hour on the whole 24 hours. Like, I'm not saying every hour I just drink 4. Like, 1 hour might be 6, 1 hour might be 3, 1 hour might be. So, I mean, do the math. 4 times 24, that's like 80 something beers. Yeah. Pretty good. Or pretty bad, depending on how you look at it.
Juan Soto. I'm just watching.
He's been great this year. Hit a big home run last night.
Soto's must-watch TV.
Must-watch TV.
Yeah, I just need to know what kind of drinks that the old man drank, man.
Like I said, sometimes they even drink water. Because I've read about this.
That's what I'm saying. If you drink your water, I'm not impressed.
I'm not impressed. Yeah, I mean, now if you do 120 beers in 24 hours at 120 different bars, I'll give you some props.
That's a lot of props, bro.
I think, like I said, I think I could get 80 down. I'm not going to try it again or try again. And don't want to incriminate myself. I'm not going to try it.
How many beers?
I think I could get 80 beers down in 24 hours.
And how many different bars?
I'm not going to different bars. I'm just sitting on the front.
Oh, how many different bars did that guy
He went to 120 bars in 24 hours and had a drink at each one.
How can you go to 120 bars, bro?
I mean, it's in Europe, bro. They have bars and next door to another bar. You don't have to drive around and go anywhere crazy.
That's the only thing. I was like, wait, you got to drink in different bars. So that's 120, 120. Nah, bro. It ain't 120 bars, bro.
That's a world record.
It ain't 120. There's not even 120 bars in South Beach.
In South Beach, yeah, but you're in Europe though. That's the difference.
So what? South Beach is
I mean,
more
restaurants
walkable.
count as bars, man. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, they got alcohol at it. They are whatever.
So then just say
you
you
can go to a
went to-
juice bar. That counts. I mean, have you ever been to a juice bar and actually paid high price for juice? I'll say no, I have not.
No, I haven't.
I mean, I'll just drink regular juice. I'm not that fancy. I don't pinky up all the time. Gonna talk real quick about the transfer portal next, Vlad. Miami, always prominent, coming and going. We'll talk about that. And I have an idea about the transfer portal because this Jaden Rashad has got me a little angry. That's next here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
feature and listen to anything you missed. Hurry!
We're going to get to the transfer portal real quick, but I am fascinated by this whole beer situation and beer challenges, and I always love beer. So 305-567-0560, the number to text in. 954 just kind of brought it all together for us, Vlad. He texted in or she texted in, hey guys, it's the Jessica Pagula fan club. We also love Jessica Pagula, by the way. He said his buddy, younger than him, in his upper 20s, went to the Marlins game the other day and tried the one beer, one hot dog per inning challenge. Unfortunately, he didn't make it past the 7th inning stretch, but he did enjoy the 305 bar very much. Now, this is a challenge that sounds pretty fun, Vlad. The one beer, one hot dog, an inning challenge. Get rid of the hot dog.
Get rid of the hot dog.
I don't need that taking up space.
Let me tell you this, yo.
Let's tell you a little story. Go ahead, Vlad.
Let me tell you this, man. I'm sick and tired of this Nathan's hot dog tournament that Joey Chestnut be winning. And here's why. I love buns.
I like big buns, and I cannot lie.
Yes, especially of the opposite sex.
Oh,
But
I
I
thought
love buns, right? I don't like, I like buns for Mike Glizzy.
I'll eat
Pause.
buns by myself.
But I don't like to see buns getting drenched.
Oh, no.
I hate that.
Don't put it in Powerade.
Don't put it in water. Like,
Get
no.
that crap out of here.
When I see that, no. So then when teams do this, what's the word I'm looking for? The promotion of one hot dog, one beer an inning, or whatever. They could do 5 hot dogs, 5 beers, or whatever. That's nasty.
Okay,
that's nasty.
This is my thing, Vlad, and we will do the whole thing. We'll do the whole beer every inning or whatever. That's not a problem. That's the least of my worries about completing that. I'm not doing the hot dog. I need that space. That's a lot of hot dogs. I'm more worried about the hot dogs than the beers every inning. 9 hot dogs? Goodness gracious. I'd be vomiting off of food, not beer. But I can do a beer an inning. That's easy.
Beer innings, nothing.
Yeah, I'll pregame and still do a beer an inning.
How many ounces?
12 probably.
Oh, that's nothing. I'll be done by the second pitch.
But the hot dog's going to take up a lot of space. It does sound like a fun challenge. You go every inning, and between innings, you go there, you buy a hot dog, a beer, you eat it, you drink it. Pretty cool.
Nah, y'all using the bathroom.
That's a lot of food. It's a lot of beer too. Don't get me wrong, but it's not undoable. I can do it all.
Goes in as a sausage, comes out as defecation, and it's nasty work.
Okay. So yeah, it's a nice little challenge, but I could see how filling that would be.
That's filling. Tastes great.
Buns, love them. So the transfer portal reopened. It seems like the transfer portal is always opening and closing and opening and closing. They did the spring game last Saturday, then the following Monday, the transfer portal opened. 3 names of note from the Miami Hurricanes leaving. Nigel Kelly, who was
5-star.
Mario Cristobal's first 5-star.
That's not good.
Had some injuries last year, though. Played his first year. Did pretty good. So that is one of the guys that is leaving. Also, Henry Parrish Jr. is going to be leaving. And Henry Parrish Jr. running back. And quarterback Ja'Cory Brown, who you have to understand has to leave because Cam Ward's going to be a starting quarterback. If he gets hurt, Emory Williams is the heir apparent. And it looks like even, what's his name? Hoffenberger. Hoffenpulver is going to be the other guy. So he's kind of a 4th string. And they said that the freshman guy that had come in is also kind of nipping at his heels. So, okay, that's okay. So you lose some guys, you get some guys. It's okay. Cam Ward comes in. That's a big one. This is my thing. This Jaden Rashada really got me upset because he decided to come to Miami simply because of money. Then he decided to go to Florida simply because of money. Seemed like the money was kind of phony at Florida. So he decided to go to Arizona State where his dad played. And I thought, okay, that's a logical landing spot. 3 games, plays, he's transferring again. He's all over the place. Guys are all over the place. I'm all about you having the right to go to different schools and transfer, but enough is enough. 2 things I'd like to see with this NIL transfer portal thing. You have to limit how many transfers you can do because the NCAA is looking at possibly letting you transfer as many times as you want and not have to sit out at all. I think there should be a new rule, and tell me if I'm crazy about this, Vlad. You can transfer twice because sometimes there are circumstances, coaches change, do all this stuff, no penalty, twice. Go to your original school. Let's say the coach gets fired or goes to a different job. You have the right to transfer. Say you go to the new situation. It's not a good situation. Transfer again. No penalty, no problem. After that second one, you have to sit out a year if you want to transfer again. Anytime you want to transfer, you sit out a year. You lose that year. Yeah, and of course, you've already lost that year of eligibility. So how bad do you want to transfer after 2 times already? Is that somewhat reasonable to keep people from jumping every single season?
Yeah, it does make it so. I'm all for those kids to make money, and I can understand because this might be the only opportunity they'll be able to make
Absolutely.
money
A lot,
starting.
not only a majority
of them,
90% of them.
because once they go if they do go into the league, depending on where they are, where they're ranked and everything like that, this might be it. This might be their last chance of notoriety, of athletic excellence. So they can make as much money, because you're gonna see that now. You're gonna see kids stay in college 4, 5, 6 years, go to grad school, because if they're able to make $1 million a year by playing football in college, that's probably the most. They're not gonna make. I mean, you got to be really great. Then they're probably not gonna make that same amount of money when they go into pros,
right?
Because they might not be pro ready. That's the thing. You could be great for college. You could be the man in college, stay 4 years and make almost what? I'm just being safe. Let's say $3 to $7 million.
That's a lot
in 4 years in college.
I mean, even if you're decent, you can make maybe $1 million, $1.5 million in college, and get your.
But
education.
I'm saying for 4 years.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, and this is not only.
I'm talking about if you're just good. You're not like a superstar or anything.
If you're okay, so then think about, all right. So if you're not, say you're good. You're what, maybe a 4th round pick, 5th round pick in the NFL?
Or maybe someone that maybe goes undrafted even, but you're good at your team.
All right. So if you go undrafted, you're gonna team. That means you're gonna have to bust your ass in order to, for you to make a roster, to get playing time, to earn playing time, in order for you to get a deal, a good deal. Think about if you're unrestricted free agent and you sign to a team, you're probably going to be making less money than you were in college.
Nothing's guaranteed with that.
I would stay.
Absolutely. But I think it's enough. I mean, you get 2 free transfers, and then after that, you get the year penalty. There's circumstances, there's understanding. I think that's realistic. Here's my other thing. Now, this might be a little crazy, but sometimes crazy thinking needs to be done. Now that the NCAA is a lot like going pro, because you can get paid, name, image, and likeness, why not we treat it like that? You're more than welcome out of high school to go straight to the pros. You're more than welcome. But if you enter the NCAA, 4 years.
No, you're not going to hold me 4 years. Get that out of here.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, though. But it's like a contract that you make. I mean, well, look, football players and baseball players.
So then guess what? If I sign 4 years, your ass better be my coach for 4 years.
No, I'm not saying that. You can transfer within. I'm talking about within the NCAA if you go to college. Now, like, this is not totally crazy, because in football and baseball, if you start playing NCAA baseball, football, once you sign that contract to, the commitment letter, you can't go to the draft until a certain age.
Yeah, but you can't do that to these football players.
The only thing it's not fair, because what if your stock rises and you want to get out? But can there not be a certain amount of time that you have to stay in the NCAA before you're draft eligible?
You have 3 years.
You have to do 3 years for every sport.
No, not for every sport, but for football. You can't judge every sport. I'm not judging. No, basketball player. No, you're not going to hold me for 4 years if I want to bounce.
I'm just saying. I mean, you're making money anyway. You got an NIL deal.
So I can make more money.
I don't know. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese might not be making as much money.
That's them. That's because they were born a certain way. You know what I mean? If I'm a college athlete, Zach Edney could have left a long time ago. You think when he leaves college and goes to the NBA, he's not going to be making that same amount of money?
But what I'm saying is, now the NCAA is more like a professional league and not a collegiate league. I mean, it's college by name only, basically. Maybe they could require other things. I'm saying maybe they could. I'm all for player freedom as far as when you want to come and go and stuff like that and be eligible. I don't like all the jumping school to school to school to school to school whenever you feel like it. That's why I say there should be some restrictions. But I could see where the NCAA would possibly, and like I said, they're already doing it in football where you have to go, 3 years or before you can't leave until you're 21 or you can't declare yourself eligible for
No,
the
you
draft.
can't. Yeah, I think you have to do 3 years of college or whatever, or you've been at least in college for 3 years. You could be an underclass,
There is some
redshirted
limitation.
sophomore, but as long as you've done 3 years, you can go. It's not my fault. It's not, like I said, it's not Caitlin Clark's fault that she's going to be making more money outside of the WNBA, and it's not. I'm not upset with these players if they want to transfer and keep on transferring. Where they're going to listen, man. If these universities and these boosters are offering you tons of money, and this is what's beautiful. These are things that we already knew what was going on. Now it's just legal. Come
Yeah.
on, man. Like
That's
we're-
why I like it.
That's why I like it. I'm like, we're acting
Stop
like
being like that.
like we're acting crazy. Like, what? I don't know if you ever watch A Football Life with Eric Dickerson, but they were talking about Eric Dickerson and how, like, when SMU, the reason why he went to SMU other than those other Texas schools, because they offered him more money. They offered him in his money. We know that. Channing talks about it all the time. This is nothing new. They were getting paid, but now this is different.
Right.
Now.
Some things just need to be put out in the open and made. And I mean, today's a very good example of that. By doing certain things, you eliminate certain shady elements of whether it be society or of college football. Look, we all know Nick Saban's got people going out there and was paying kids everything they wanted. Now it's just it's easier to do.
They can't. Yeah, it's easy. It's good when the boosters are doing it, but if the boosters are not even boosters don't have to do anything now, because they're getting deals from whatever, from
and
companies.
It's pretty awesome. Now, I worked in college. I worked for the LSU Foundation, which is basically not the Alumni Association, but an association that accepts grants and scholarships and money from people. And the number one thing, they had a rule. I don't know if it was at LSU or it's an NCAA rule. Is back then, you couldn't tell the school how to spend your money. You had to just donate to the athletic foundation and say, I want this hopefully to go to football. They decide what to do with the money. Everyone would ask, where's my money going? What scholarship athlete is getting my money? And you would say, you can't do that. Now, if you're someone that wants to donate to the program, you can specifically go to Cam Ward and say, I want my money going to you. Cam Ward, here's $1 million. You advertise for me. I get something in return. You play for us. And I know where my money's going. I think that's empowering. I think that's good. Rather than just giving it to the athletic association to do whatever the hell they want to do with it and trusting that they're going to do the right thing with it. And you get a little return in there. Get Cam Ward selling your moving business or whatever you got. I'm just spitballing right there.
Yeah, we'll see. But
it's going to be interesting to see how the NCAA breaks this down. If it's going to be willy-nilly going wherever you want, transfer and no penalty, because it does get a little frustrating that Jaden Rashad has played 3 games and he's already committed at least to now soon to be 4 teams, Vlad.
make that money, bro.
Oh, but also I could see where the NCAA maybe one day would say, okay, we're going to pay you. We're going to give you school. We're going to give you a board. You got all this. You might need to stay here a little longer. You can't just leave. I say, willy-nilly, let's go. Speaking of willy-nilly, something or nothing. Willy-nilly next. Sports Day 560 WQAM. Got some real good something or nothing for you today, Vlad. Missed you last week. You were at the Marlins games all weekend. Once again, we've made note that Vlad has been to more Marlins games this year than the Marlins have actually won. When we go on May 2nd, that better not be the case. Marlins got to get a couple W's before
What is that,
then.
in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I know. Imagine if you've been to 6 games, the Marlins have won 5. Oh God. If I'm telling you, Vlad, if AJ Puck is on the mound, I'm still going to go to the game. But you know, you can play a game in protest. I will be in that game. I will view in protest if AJ Puck starts. I just like how everyone now is all of a sudden like acting like they got this cool take, like AJ Puck's terrible. He shouldn't be starting. Dan, have you seen his numbers? Yeah, Vlad. And all I do is I point to our YouTube page, which we clip. You can always watch clips 560 WQAM, and how we have repeatedly made mention of that. With that being said, AJ Puck, please don't punch me in the face if we ever meet, because you will kill me. He'll connect on that one. He'll connect on that. Strike zone all over the place. So we do something or another. When my cousin Vladimir Louison, I put together some things that are happening in the world, and he decides whether it's something or nothing at all. Take note. Just take note, because now you need to know if something's something or nothing. You know, you might go to the store and be like, "Whoa, that's something." Vlad said it was, and then somebody's like, "Oh, by the way, Chelsea did lose to Man City." Vlad, is that something or nothing? I'm getting all types of texts, man.
Who, Chelsea?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I lost in the semis in the FA Cup.
1-0.
It's something. Something bad for Chelsea. You could have had Man City. They were devastated after that loss, but
Right.
you know, it was a good comeback.
Bernardo Silva in the 84th minute. Oh man, so close. Okay, Carolina Hurricanes. They are slight favorites to win the Stanley Cup. Panthers aren't really all that high there. You know, they're high.
Wait. Slight favorite. Who's the favorite?
Carolina Hurricanes.
Carolina's favorite, and even though they're second in their own
Slight
division?
favorites to win the Stanley Cup. Something or nothing.
Wow, that's something. That means the bettors don't believe in the Bruins anymore.
Well,
they're if you look at the numbers, the Rangers team is a great team, but their numbers
they won
don't
the
really.
President's Trophy.
If you look at the numbers, like they're not supposed to be that good.
The numbers went down when they won the President's
Not
Trophy.
only that's the odds.
The odds. That's what I meant.
Right. No, you're right on that. I'm just talking about if you look at their numbers throughout the season, you're wondering they're a good team, but you know, but a lot of damn goals.
Still got the Panthers.
Panthers, yeah, I would have the Panthers as the favorite.
That would be mine. I'm sticking with it. You can have the field. I'll take the Panthers.
I'm shocked by that, but yeah.
DeMar DeRozan still kind of smarting from the loss last night. Says he wants to return to Chicago, but there has to be a chance for the team to make playoff runs in the future. Something or nothing.
Well, whatever, man.
Is anybody worried about DeMar DeRozan anymore?
Listen, I thought he was gonna bust your ass last night, and he didn't do it. He didn't do it.
Nah, I knew they were out of bullets. I knew they were out of bullets.
Yeah, they ran through them all on Wednesday night, beating the Hawks. DeMar still could play, bro. Nobody gets to their spot in the NBA like DeMar DeRozan, and his mid-range game is still the best in the league. The Bulls should be more talented. I think their big problem is they need a point guard, and their point guard is Lonzo, and Lonzo hasn't played in the last 2
years.
seasons. So
yeah, that sucks, man, because he was really making some gains towards being a good player in this league.
They have talent. You just don't understand why it hasn't like all gelled together.
All right, Vlad. I'm excited. I just got relieved of some duties I had to do after work.
Nice.
I know.
All right.
I always got to do something after work. Well, I got to go to Hope. No.
Hey, I got to give him a round of applause.
Vlad, you're excited about this one. I know you've been waiting all week. You've actually been chomping at the bit. I want you to break down this Drake Kendrick Lamar beef, because there's a new bar or two that have been spit. I can't keep up with it. What's going on?
All right. So quick. So the so-called big three, the 3 big names of hip hop, have finally decided to engage in a verbal tug of war to see who was the number one. Kendrick released a song on an album called on Future and Metro Booming's album, which happened to be an album insulting Drake. The whole album was like, the whole album, the people on the album was just insulting Drake. So come to find out that a lot of people in the industry don't really mess with Drake. Some guys that Drake has helped giving number 1 hits to. So in a song called Like That, Kendrick Lamar responded to the J. Cole Drake song First Person Shooter. And in that song, that's where J. Cole mentioned the big three. The big three is him, Kendrick, and him and Drake. But he felt like he was Muhammad Ali, so he was better than those two. He said, F the big three, it's only F and Big Me. So finally it happened. Last Saturday, a week ago yet Saturday, after J. Cole, remember J. Cole apologized and got out of the beef? Remember that? Remember he didn't want to get indulge? When Aubrey Drake Graham decided to release a song, and when the song was released, people thought it was AI, because that's the new thing now, Dan. Kuzan, everybody thinks that something happens, it's not real, it must have been AI. But
But no, fake rap.
Yeah, they thought it was fake, but no, it was Drake. Drake released a song. He released a song called Push Push Ups 50, give me 50. Where he took a shot at everybody that insulted him. It was The Weeknd, Future, Metro Boomin, but obviously Kendrick Lamar. Well, then he's waiting. Everybody's waiting for Kendrick Lamar's response. He's still waiting. I like Drake because Drake, I like how he chooses. I don't like how he chooses his battles, but I like how he plays with the battles that he chooses. Remember, he didn't want to engage with Pusha T because he knows that it's just not a good move.
It's like taking on Eminem.
But he's engaging with Kendrick because he knows he's making fun of Kendrick's size, him being short, small feet, the whole nine. So basically, I know it's crazy. He did a song. He released a song out of his Instagram page called Tailor Made, and he had AI Tupac and an AI Snoop rapping as if Kendrick, you're letting down the West Coast OGs. Like, come on, homie, how long are you gonna take to respond? We're all waiting. So he had two AI verses of Tupac and Snoop rapping to Kendrick about you got to engage everybody, and then the last verse is Drake just going in. And then, it's called Tailor Made. It's getting petty, and I love it. I love it.
Okay. Are people taking sides in this hip
Yes,
hop war?
of course they're taking sides.
Whose side are we taking?
You ready for this?
Okay. No, maybe I'm not. I'm
You ready for
scared.
this? Are you ready
Get
for
me
this?
involved in something I don't need to be?
I usually don't. I don't hate him.
Are you
I
doing
respect him.
Degrassi? Are you going Degrassi?
I'm going Team Degrassi, baby. It's 20 versus 1. This is ridiculous.
Drake. So you're taking Drake.
Yes, because it's 20 versus 1. Let me tell you this, Kuzan. Let me tell you this. If I was the one lacing you with your number one hits and you have the audacity to take a shot at me, are you out of your mind? You ain't popping if I don't put my verses on your track. Are you ridiculous?
Okay.
Nah, bro.
Good
And then
point.
it's everybody. It's everybody. It's not like one-on-one, because I just want to engage with one other person. But all of a sudden, it seems like everybody's going against that man. And the people that he's going against him, and I'm one of the biggest Rick Ross fans out there. It hurts, bro. It hurts not to hear any more Drake and Rick Ross songs. I'm hurting. I love those two when they get together. But cats are going after Aubrey. They're going after Aubrey, and they're going after him hard. It literally feels like it's like a Bizarro Endgame, a Bizarro, Marvel comic right now. That's how it is right now. But I love it. I love the pettiness.
All right. We're going to keep you abreast of that situation. One more something or another, just because I love this story. 2 vultures were found dumpster diving while drunk outside of a rehab clinic in Connecticut.
Were they record label owners?
Maybe, man. Maybe.
You said vultures.
Vultures, drunk vultures,
Yeah,
dumpster
no.
diving.
Culture vultures.
Culture vultures. Damn record labels.
Hey, don't this record label today's. Remember them. This is what's today say? What's today's holiday?
Today's record store day.
Record store. Oh, record store, not record labels.
Not
Okay,
record
yeah,
label
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Every day's record label day. They're fleecing all their artists. You know how that goes.
Oh man, yeah, that's why they were trying to get AI. That's what AI was used for these artists. So they could basically get their voices, get their type of ideologies, and then use an AI to start rapping like them or singing like them.
The rap world is twisting and turning so fast.
I love it.
One more hour, Sports Day next, 560 WQAM.
Listen to
Day. Turn it up. It's Sports Day with Dan Day.
The playoffs are here, and the Heat and Panthers are in. Heat taking care of the Bulls last night, punching their ticket as an 8 seed to play Big Bad Boston Celtics. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Panthers, we knew they were in. They won the Atlantic Division. They are going to be playing Tampa Bay Lightning starting tomorrow. Both teams in action tomorrow. Both teams in action early in the day. You get the Panthers and the Lightning. That is going to be 12:30 Amerant Bank Arena on our sister station, 790 Radio Libre. And then you get the Heat and the Celtics, 1 o'clock tomorrow. That's going to be right here on 560 WQAM in Boston. Both a little scary. You got to be really scared taking on the Celtics because you don't have Jimmy Butler, and the Celtics, the best team in the NBA this year. And they have revenge on the mind.
They definitely have revenge on the mind.
Very good team. That doesn't help. The only reason you're a little sketchy about the Panthers is you got a rivalry. It's an in-state rivalry, so there's not a lot of travel. It's a team that's beaten you in the past. But it is, if you're looking at the bright side, number one, you're a very high seed, second overall seed in the East, basically, although they do weird seeding. And this is the perfect way to exercise some demons from the past. Get over that hump, at least mental hump, of Tampa Bay, and then onward and upward in the playoffs.
This is Paul Maurice leading this team now this time.
It's
This is
true.
a Paul Maurice-led Panthers team, so I think they're going to be ready for the battle that they will face.
It is a battle-tested Tampa Bay team that has won championships. It's not the exact same team. I understand that, but still cause for a little bit of concern. But I guess at this point of the season, there is no easy ones, as we've seen throughout all the playoffs. There's no such thing as easy ones in the playoffs. We had a tough one the other night against the 76ers. Jimmy Butler goes down. Last night was as close to an easy one as you can get against the Bulls. Pretty much got up by 20 after. Well, you had a bad second. I will say the Heat had a really bad second quarter, but the Bulls didn't have any good quarters, so it got down to 7.
The defense, I don't know if it's defense because I just think Chicago missed a lot of shots.
They were terrible.
There was a good 3-4 minute stretch in the game when it was a 10-point game. I want to say it was 46-36.
It was a 7-point game, and then Tyler hit a 3. Tyler Hero hit a 3 at one point.
Was
in the third quarter.
No, not the third. It was the second. It was in the second.
Oh, was it Duffy? So
Yeah, it was in second, and I'm like, okay. If Chicago had many opportunities to really get back into this game, and Miami played well enough to make stops, they couldn't hit a 3 at all. They were missing wide open threes, the Bulls.
Yeah, their percentage was terrible.
And almost hit one out of there.
But you had to know it was going down. Even after the first quarter, you saw the laser focus on the Miami Heat and the determination. They scored 34 points in the first. And then, by the way, after halftime, they scored 35 in the third.
Yeah, the first and third is what went on the game.
Coming out focused, hardcore.
Scored combined 69 points in the first 3 quarters. I mean, first and third, yeah.
The first, they won 34-17. That's pretty darn good. They only scored 13 in the second, but the Bulls only scored 20. Then you come out 35-23 in the third. That's it. And then Bulls 31-30 in the fourth. 112-91. Focus, guys. Tell it right away. This team was ready to go, focused. They were incentivized, knowing Jimmy Butler wasn't on the team, motivated. I liked it. And Tyler Hero, 24 points. Almost had a triple-double. So close, Vlad. So close to that triple-double. And it was early on that he almost had the triple-double.
No, it was in the fourth.
I saw he had 9 and 9, and
he got a rebound, and he had a chance to get the assist, but he shot the 3 and hit it.
It's a little selfish. I don't know if I like that.
Hey, as long as you made the 3,
it's all about points. But yeah, 24, 10 rebounds, 9 assists with the pass of the game, that behind the back dish. Whoo, that thing was nice. Let's get to some more headlines about what's happening. The Pelicans, they did win without Zion Williamson. They held off the Kings 105-98. They sweep the season of the Kings, who were a good team last year. This team, I don't know what happened. You get the Pelicans and Oklahoma City in the Western Conference first round. On paper, that looks like home run for Oklahoma City. But Oklahoma City doesn't have as much. They do have some playoff experience, but they are number 1 seed, and they are sneaky good too. So we're both holding our breath for the Heat and the Pelicans as the 8th seed, but we're not holding it for too long. We'll see how that goes. Magic and Cavs are playing right now. Cavaliers are up by 20, 78-58. That is in the third. Yeah, basketball all day, and it's going to be great. Suns, Timberwolves, 3:30. 6 o'clock, 76ers, Knicks. Vlad, you're all in. And then at 8:30.
Can't wait, baby. Orange and blue skies. Orange and blue skies. Shout out to Richie.
I'll be pulling for you guys, man. I'm pulling for the Knicks.
Shout out to my boy Richie.
He really thinks y'all are going to win the whole thing this year.
I don't see what's wrong with that.
I'll take that bet.
I don't see what's wrong with that.
Take that bet. I'll also take that bet on that Nuggets-Lakers series, too. 8:30 tonight, game one of that series.
Lakers going to pull a shock. They're going to pull a shock in the playoffs.
Record store day.
They're going to pull the shock for the playoffs.
Okay. Today, 5 o'clock, Islanders, Hurricanes. We've shifted to NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Then at 8 o'clock, the Maple Leafs and the Bruins.
Toronto versus Boston. Yeah, Toronto is actually more English speaking.
Toronto's all English speaking.
Yeah, so then I shouldn't go
It's only Quebec that you're going to
It's only Montreal that come back and go
Don't worry about the Marlins. They're doing exactly what you would think.
Are they
they'd be
losing?
doing. What do you think they're doing in the bottom of the third, Vlad? What do you think?
3-0?
2-0. The zero is a no doubter. Let's see. Oh, Luis Ariz has got a hit this year. All right. Brian De La Hoz.
This year.
Jazz Chisholm. You know, we need to get into this, Vlad. I was down on Jazz Chisholm, and he's not giving me any reason to get high on him. Pause for record store day. Jesus Luzardo has given up 2 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings. 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, 3 bases on balls. That's not a good stat line. So they're down 2-0. I'm gonna go home and, I don't know. I don't know. We'll talk about what we're doing after here. But I mean, I might watch. This is a doubleheader for the Marlins. I might watch some Marlins action. I mean, this Cavs Orlando game, whatever. I don't know. Playoff basketball or Marlins losing to the Cubs. I don't know, Vlad. I might watch playoff basketball now because I hate the Cubs so much and I love the Marlins so much. I can't take it, man. Can't take it. I got sidetracked about the Marlins. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. Speaking of bad baseball, the Canes baseball team, they fell to Louisville 9-5 last night. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
That was great. Nah, it was just,
man, like people
bro, you said it so smooth, but it was smooth. It was real smooth the way he said it. It's like, oh, that was a good transition. Boom. And I was like, wait, what did he say? Oh, wait, speaking of bad baseball, that's all right. That's funny.
I mean, a lot of people are going to come on and sugarcoat it. Like, they've had some tough pitching or some tough games. Let's just go through what the Canes baseball team is. And I know a lot of people don't break this down, but FSU swept them the other weekend. So
I'm sorry. Hold on. I mentioned this earlier. Sidebar. I know we're about to get on Canes baseball. But is it me, audience, or every time I keep on looking at the television and watching game 1 of the Eastern Conference first round series between the Magic and Cavaliers, that I think there's one coach. They have one coach.
It looks like they share a coach.
Jamal Mosley and Bickerstaff look like they're long lost twins.
They look exactly alike, and they're dressed nondescript.
They're dressed the same, bald head, beard with grays on it. They look like the. Oh my God,
they do look very similar. I can't tell. I mean,
is it Bernie? Is it Bernie Bickerstaff Jr.?
But as you're casually watching, you can't tell. Like you really can't.
Nah, bro. It looks like one coach is coaching both teams.
Oh,
but back to your girl.
No, we're done. We're done. I don't want to talk about how bad the Marlins and the Canes baseball team is.
No. Back to the Canes. So they got swept by FAU.
No, they've been swept by a couple teams. They almost got swept by Clemson. They lost 2 of 3. Then they lost to Florida Atlantic. Then they got swept by Duke. Then they lost to, they beat Florida Atlantic. Then they got swept by FSU. Then they got beat by Bethune-Cookman. Then they lost to Louisville last night, and they got Louisville tonight at 8 o'clock.
Damn.
Going out to Mark Lightfield. Enjoy that shake and that beer at Titanic. Metro Rail boys, God bless you. Have fun out there. Blare music, and please drink a lot. Inter Miami. Represent Vice City 1896 supporters group. They stand atop the Eastern Conference standings in MLS. They actually they're tied for most points in all of MLS. They're going to host Nashville SC Saturday at 7:30, which is today at 7:30. Messi's a full go. Jordi Alba on the injured list. I just mentioned that because everybody's there to see Messi. No, Uncle Luke, Captain coming.
Hey, yo.
I still play that in the clubs, and people go bonkers.
Hey, yo. Relax. I don't need you to say Captain Come.
I play it. Am I doing something wrong by saying that? Am we in trouble?
Really? You want to talk? You want to say?
I don't want to get into it right now.
Captain of what?
Okay.
Captain of what?
This is the man that could be running for public office. He could be your representative in the U.S. Senate one day. Possibly. He's milling it over.
Mulling?
Milling. Maybe. Vlad already said he's voting for him.
I'm voting. I mean,
Platform unseen.
don't need a ban from the USA. It could be that.
Platform unseen. I urge you never to vote for someone platform unseen.
What are you talking about? People are about to vote for Kanye.
Once again, platform unseen. I like his music. Some of his lyrics too. I can't get into Kanye right now. Pause. I mean, I'm not saying I won't vote for Uncle Luke, but I'd like to see his platform before I vote. He's my early favorite if I'm in his district, which I'm probably not. I don't know. I'm guessing he probably is more around Edison High. And so we drove by Edison High the other day because, we're men of the people. Come back from the Marlins game. Drove by Edison. Oh, I mean, sort of drove by it. Looked at it. Yeah.
I mean, Akinelli tried to be mayor of South Beach.
Why would you ever get into politics is my question. That's like the last thing I'd want to do.
Politics is no different than the streets.
It's an obsession, man.
It's no different than the streets. It's dirty.
People that are into politics are obsessed, man.
Yeah.
They're just obsessed.
Yeah.
Make a difference. Make a difference. I mean, speaking of making a difference, cryptocurrency company Polkadot has entered an $8.8 million sponsorship of Inter Miami. Their logo is going to appear on the club's training kit. I do like that they are supporting Inter Miami. I love the fact that Inter Miami is part of this city, and I like the fact that they're getting some support. I don't have anything to do with cryptocurrency, and for probably a long time in the foreseeable future, I will not, because I'm just kind of scared of it. Scared of it, cryptocurrency. I like real money. I mean, when I say real money, hard money. I do.
Wait. There's a difference between hard money and soft money?
Yeah, man.
What's the difference?
Cryptocurrency? Like, if the company just disappears, that's it. Like, if my money's in a bank and the bank decides to close, I
get it, but you said you like your money hard.
Pause. What, you like your soft money? You like soft money?
I just like money.
Okay. Well, see, there you go. Different taste, different strokes for different folks.
I just want the money.
Okay.
No matter. I'm not trying to feel the texture of the money. Just want the money.
That's true. Oh, man. Not a lot of people feel their money anymore. I'm one of those guys that still pays with a lot of cash. Get looked at like I'm a exile or something. I'm a cash man.
They're going to have to figure something out, man.
Because there's certain things you need cash for.
You need cash for it, yeah.
Oh, look, it's record store day. Sometimes you got to buy cash. You can't Zelle everybody.
Not just selling strippers.
Yeah, how you gonna Zelle? They do take Bitcoin and stuff. I've driven by Scarlett's, one of your favorite places. They do take Zelle and Bitcoin. But
they take Zelle.
It's something lost in that, man. Like last night, Duffy's Implantation. Sabrina says hello. Justin also says hello. Not really.
Oh my God! Today's our day. Is she gonna be at work?
Hey, her birthday was on Wednesday. I don't know. I didn't ask last night. But nonetheless, somebody was requesting songs, and I was playing music like I usually do on Fridays and Thursdays. And one woman came up and was like, "Hey, can I get your phone number? Because sometimes, I just feel like texting you a request."
Wait, what? Oh.
And my friend was like, "No, that's not how it works. You need to interact with them. You can't just randomly text in what you want to hear." I said, "I really don't care." He goes, "That's not how things work." And that's the way I feel about strippers. I need to give you a dollar bill. I don't want to say, "Well, what's your Zelle? What's your Venmo?" That's weird, man.
Yeah.
I want that. That's why you need hard money. Pause.
You just need money.
When you go to the strip club, you better have hard money. True? Maybe I'm on an island. I don't know. Man,
I think you're on an island.
I want to go listen to some Dennis Brown. No man is an island. You can tell I've only slept like 1 hour in the past 3 days.
Don't worry, man. We'll be in 39 minutes. I'll be listening all that.
Oh man, I can't wait. I'm gonna go try to catch some of this Marlins. We'll get into that in a little bit. Right now, let's get into something else. Let's go ahead and get into the day spa. A woman says she's physically sick after finding out that her husband was having a 6-year affair with her mom.
Sometimes you got to go to the source. Sometimes you got to go to the original source.
6 years, Vlad.
That's good. Wait, how did she find out?
I know. How do you slip up after 6 years?
You got to give moms good,
Mom
man.
knows her daughter.
That's crazy. Mom's the best side chick ever.
I guess.
That is wild. Mom is the best side chick ever. The mother-in-law is the best side chick because she's not going to talk to the daughter.
And she knows the daughter, so she knows how to trick her and fool
You
her.
could actually hang out. They can have a
Oh, you
conversation.
could be in a room, man.
Right.
You can finish up what dirty business you need. Finish up like 5 minutes, and then your daughter come in. No, dad, no problem. And you can even still call her mom. Hey, mom, you making some crumpets? Oh, I love your crumpets. She's never gonna know. Little does she know. Talk about crumpets. I don't even know what that means. I got another good story for you. I don't want to get into it right now because I don't know if it's appropriate for today.
Good for him, man.
Is that good?
Yeah, I'm giving
You aspire to maybe possibly be that guy. one
but
day
I'm
that-
just saying, for 6 years, like, first of all, who made the move?
I didn't get into it, but
I'm just saying that when you see, that's the thing
the
about
mom had to make the move.
Okay, so the mom made the move. So think about it. For 6 years, nobody disciplined it unless she was like enough. Because the daughter might have been bothering mom, and mom was like, "That's why I've been, and that would have been it." But yeah, good for him.
The daughter's pushing her mom's buttons, and one day, that's why I've been getting on with your husband for 6 years. Huh? Talk back now.
Think about it. I want to come see the grand. Oh, this is great. Oh, that's good for him. Good job by him. Good for him.
All right, bud. We've been trying to get to this really in depth. Next, we're going to do it. We're going to give you our total NBA playoff bracket breakdown. Last year, we were hard wrong about the Suns winning the NBA Finals. You and I were both dead set on that. Hard wrong. Will we be hard wrong? Now, why am I using the word hard so much today? Oh, yeah, I know why. Let me check my text.
Yo.
We're going to decide. We're going to go through bracket, play-by-play, everything. We're going to decide who's going to win the NBA championship and make sure we're not hard wrong this year here on Sports Day 560 WQAM. Woo! It's one of the most wonderful times of the year. With my cousin Vladimir Lewisson, I am Dan Day. Playoffs, baby. Today, it has already started. The NBA playoffs are here, and we've started with a thud of a game between the Cavaliers and the Magic. Everyone called that one. Vlad, myself, Heat Colt Online. We all called it.
NBA TV worthy.
Maybe not even that. YouTube.com worthy. Nonetheless, the NHL playoffs begin tonight. Our teams are in action starting tomorrow, 12:30. Nice and early. I like to get up and crack open a nice Bailey's and coffee, and then a couple of breakfast beers, some stouts, and watch 12:30 Panthers, Lightning, rivalry renewed. And then at 1 o'clock, you get the Heat and the Celtics rivalry. Seriously, rivalry renewed. And I was thinking about last night at Duffy's in Plantation. That wouldn't be a bad place to go because you got a lot of TV screens so you can watch both games and not have to maybe at home go back and forth. Nonetheless, Glad I want to break down these NBA playoffs. We do it every year. We go through series by series. We give you who we think is going to win, what the series is going to be like, and eventually who's going to win the NBA championship. Let's start close to home. I was going to say close to the heart, but I know what you would say if I said that. So tomorrow, 1 o'clock, 1 seed Celtics, 8 seed Heat. Do you have the guts, Vlad, to say the Heat are going to win at least one game in this series? Go.
They're not winning.
Not one game?
Not one game.
I'll do this. I'll raise you. I'll say Celtics in 6.
Ooh.
Got the guts, baby. Maybe not the guts that some people, but I'll say that. Okay, so you think Celtics 4-0. I'll go Heat. Oh, no, not Heat. Whew. Take that back. I go Celtics in 6. Cavs Magic, if anybody cares. Vlad, you've already said you like the Magic. Oh, no, I said I like the Magic.
No, I said I'm taking the Cavs.
I took the Cavs today to win, which we were both right about that.
Yes.
I'm going to go Magic mainly to play devil's advocate and also because the Magic are better than a lot of people are giving them credit for. And the Cavs just seem like one of those teams that even though they have D Wade and they have Donovan Mitchell and Max
I
Strus.
love how you say Dean Wade.
His name's Dean Wade. They call him D Wade. That's what they call him.
But you mentioned him first as if like he's the number one guy that you're thinking about on Cleveland. Come on, man. Stop. Don't do that.
Cleveland has a long history of D Wades. Well, maybe not a long history, but a history.
Yo.
So I got the Magic winning in 7. So that's you and I just kind of bickering and differing. Bucks Pacers.
6.
Bucks Pacers. Everyone says, oh, even if Giannis were playing, the Pacers are going to win. Are you one of those people, Vlad? Are you going to go Pacers?
Yeah, I am.
You go Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
How many games?
6.
I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to think the Bucks, they got enough talent, enough chutzpah, enough coaching, sort of, to get the Pacers in 6. I got the Bucks in 6. Okay, Vlad, let's go. Knicks, 76ers. Honestly, what you got?
Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5. I think you're in for a ride, Vlad. I think it's going to be nip and tuck. I think the 76ers team is talented. They got some players. They're gritty. They're East Coast just like the Knicks. I think the Knicks win in 7. Knicks in 7.
Knicks in 5.
Let's go.
I really think Knicks in 4, but I'm just being nice.
Okay. Well, yeah, be political. You and Uncle Luke are very good. You might have to run with Uncle Luke at some point, man. Put you on the ticket. Nonetheless, do they do that around here where they give you like tickets at like at a stop sign? They'll have like people handing out flyers and they'll be like the Uncle Luke ticket and they tell you who they like and to vote for the whole thing.
Nah, because they give from what I'm thinking from that person who's giving me that Uncle Luke ticket, I might get a twerk with from that too.
That's part of the ticket.
That's part of the ticket.
Vote the party line and yeah, we'll toe the line. Okay, let's go to the west.
I wanna rock.
Let's go to the west side of things. One near and dear to my heart. Thunder, Pelicans. Glad, what you got?
Thunder in 6.
Yep. I'm not hating on my Pelicans. I was doing it yesterday. I thought they were going to lose. I really did. I think the Pelicans have that what do you call it? And you said it earlier, unevenness, Vlad, to where one night you might watch them and be like, wow, this team might be the best team, the most fun team to watch in the NBA. And the next night, and you're like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, it's a weird team, bro. Like, I don't get it. It's like once Brandon got hurt the last 12 games of the season, Zion really took off. Zion gets hurt after a 40-point game. Brandon had like a 12-point game, and then yesterday he just seemed like Brandon Ingram again.
There's times you look at Brandon Ingram and be like, he might be better than Kevin Durant. And then there's time you watch Brandon Ingram and you're like, he might not play high school basketball. Love you, B.I. He's my favorite player in the NBA, by the way, too. The one everyone's talking about, Clippers, Mavs. 4 Clippers, Mavs 5. A lot of people saying, watch out, these Mavericks. There's somebody. Also, a lot of people saying, watch out for these Clippers. There's somebody. Vlad, who you got? This is a tough one.
I got the Mavs, bro.
You have the Mavs.
Mm-hmm.
How many games?
7.
7?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I got the Clippers in 6 because, like I said, the Clippers are the Clippers. They'll get you out of the first round. But after that,
I think the deadliest combination, the deadliest duo in the NBA right now is Kyrie and Luka.
I love it. I mean, I hope you're right. I'm not a Clippers fan, and I love Luka, and I love Kyrie. I love the way they play. I like the way Dallas is kind of unorthodox, but I just don't think they get past the Clippers. I could be wrong. Another one. This one's juicy. T-Wolves, Suns. Today, 3:30, you actually get to watch them start things. Who you got, Vlad?
I got the Suns in 7. I think Anthony Edwards lets the nation know that he's next.
Yeah, everybody. I heard someone earlier that goes, "Is he ready to really step into the spotlight?" I was like, that man is in the spotlight. Just you need to look at him because Anthony Edwards is a downright baller. He can play. Timberwolves. Man, Timberwolves are tricky. You got Anthony Edwards. He's absolutely awesome. You got Rudy Gobert, who's going to play some defense. But on the other side of the Suns, you got Devin Booker, and you've got the Slim Reaper, Kevin Durant. Oh, I want the Timberwolves so bad to win this series. They're so much more fun to watch than the Suns. I got to go on the record, though. Ooh.
You said T-Wolves earlier, didn't you?
I said my heart says T-Wolves, but my wallet says Suns. I'm going with my wallet. Let me see. If I were a betting man, and right now you said who's going to win the series straight up. I mean,
it's a flip 'em.
This one's actually really hard, Vlad, and I thought I had an idea. I'm going to go T-Wolves. Just because they're a 3 seed. The Suns are a 6 seed. I'm going to move on. Timberwolves, simply because Ant-Man is Ant-Man and Rudy Gobert might play some defense or make some blocks or do something. And it's a 3 seed versus a 6 seed. That's the reason why. And finally, Nuggets, Lakers, Vlad, once again, just go on the record.
I think the Lakers will pull off the upset.
You think the Lakers will pull off
and win the series?
I think Nuggets in 5, to be honest with you.
Lakers in 7.
Lakers. Okay. All eyes are watching. So now let's move on. Now we both agree the Celtics are going to advance most likely. I don't want to piss anybody off.
Celtics Cavs or Celtics Orlando.
I still think Celtics win no matter who that might
Celtics
be.
win the second round, and I think the Knicks win whoever they play in the second round.
So Bucks or Pacers.
Yes.
So now you have Celtics. Knicks.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you Bucks Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, you'll be wrong, but it's all right.
I think the Bucks are one of those teams that's like, oh, they're finally starting to get it together.
When is Giannis when?
Right now.
Really? Giannis got a calf injury that one bad step is an Achilles.
Okay.
Take it from a guy who knows about that.
Oh, take it. So now we have the Thunder and either the Mavs or the Clippers. Whoo, that is juicy right there, Vlad.
I have the Mavs
beating the Thunder. And then you have the Lakers and the Suns.
Yeah, I have the Lakers beating Suns.
Okay, I'm completely opposite with you on everything. First of all, I have the Thunder finding a way to beat the Clippers or the Mavericks, either way. And then I definitely have the Nuggets down in the Timberwolves or the Suns, either way, but I got that. So, okay, now we're into the finals of the Eastern Conference. You've got Celtics, Knicks. Are you riding? You riding and dying?
I'm riding and dying.
Go. You got to, man. You got to. Even if you don't believe it.
I'm riding and dying.
It's no fun to watch root against your team. So, yeah, you got to ride or die, but I would hate you if you didn't. I got the Celtics beating the Bucks. So, I got the Celtics in the finals. And then you have Mavericks and Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. If that happens, Vlad, I will buy you flowers. But go ahead. Tell me who you think is going to win. Mavericks out of the 5 seed, beating the Clippers, beating the Thunder, beating the Lakers, and going to the finals.
It's Luka's moment. Until he faces his former friend.
I'll tell you, it's Nico's moment. The Nuggets beat the Thunder, and they move on to the finals against the Celtics, in my opinion. So now you've got the Knicks, and let's just go, Vlad. I would think less of you if you chose anybody other than the Knicks. But the Knicks, you have the Knicks and the Mavericks in the finals. You got the Knicks, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I would hate you if you chose the Mavericks. If you got them all the way to the finals, but I got to be real. No, you got that. Okay, so and I have got the Nuggets versus the Celtics, and
I don't think the two favorites
well,
are gonna
the Nuggets
are
aren't
going
a favorite. They're a second.
no the
Second
the top two favorites.
Thunder's number 1 seed.
No. Favorites. You could be top
Favorites.
seed, but doesn't necessarily mean you're the favorite to win the title. The Celtics and the Nuggets are the two favorites. I don't think we're gonna get that type of final.
I got the Nuggets winning back-to-back championships simply because that if you don't already know, you
15
don't know,
is good,
if
man.
you don't know Nikola Jokic, if you don't know Nikola Jokic by now, you haven't been living anywhere in this world. He is just got it going on. And the Celtics, they got a lot of firepower, but they don't have an answer for that. And Jamal Murray gets going. So, okay. So I have the Nuggets and you have the Knicks.
Yes.
I hope one of us is right.
I hope
I mean, I hope you're right more than me. I mean,
Thank you.
and I know a lot of people probably get mad at me. How can you say that? The Knicks. I don't hate the Knicks as much as some Heat fans might. And I am a Heat fan, but I did not grow up a Heat fan. At least
somebody asked a good question. It was Ben.
Can I do the challenge? Oh no, never mind. Go ahead.
It was Ben, the Heat producer.
Yes, and he's from Boston, so he ain't sliding either, or Massachusetts.
He asked the question, what is Miami's biggest rival?
I would say it's the Knicks.
It's the Celtics, bro.
Okay. I mean,
I thought it was the Knicks.
Hatred.
I think
people just hate the Knicks,
but they hate the Celtics, and the rivalries they've interacted. You know what I mean? Like they've met each other in the playoffs.
Lately,
yes, the early in the Riley regime, early in Pat and Mickey's arrival in Miami. The Knicks Heat rivalry was the rivalry for Miami.
Yeah, you got Pat Riley. That's to me
right, Riley.
That's the real
that was the real rivalry, but that was and the fact that there's so many transplanted New Yorkers, and every time they went to Miami Arena, it sounded like MSG South, which it still does right now at the Kaseya Center. So that goes without saying.
Well,
but if I'm talking about literally, like, forget the fan bases and everything, I got to be honest. My team, for a good while, wasn't producing the way you guys have the way Miami has over the last 20 years. So it's up until recently that the Knicks Heat rivalry is starting to get back up again. But the Miami Heat's main rival over the last 10 to 15 years have been the Boston Celtics.
I want to say this as a Heat fan, and I am a Heat fan, and now both of my teams are 8 seeds. I got the Heat on the East and the Pelicans in the West. Don't take it for granted.
Crazy 88.
Don't be taking it for granted if you're a Heat fan. You have a class organization that every year competes for the playoffs, for championships. You have all types of rivals, whether it be we're arguing over the Celtics, over the Knicks, over the 76ers. Look on the other side of the coin. I have a Pelicans team that's never made it to an NBA Finals, has been to one Western Conference Finals in their whole time. You have no real natural rivals. If you want to consider the Memphis Grizzlies your rival, okay. You never really are that good. Yeah. Don't take it for granted. I'm serious. I don't take anything for granted, especially as being a guy that does cheer for the Heat. I don't take that for granted. Very opposite sides of the coin. So you got Pat Riley, you got Eric Spoelstra, you got the big three, you've got all the banners, you've got all the history, you've got so much going for you. You're an 8 seed right now, and you're still talking about possibly trying to get into the next round of the playoffs. As a Pelicans fan, you're just happy to be there. I'm being honest. And if you're a Pelicans fan, you're saying I'm wrong, you are not a Pelicans fan.
But if you're a Heat fan right now,
you're thinking
we did it last year.
Make some noise. Pelicans fan, woo! We made it. We did it. We did it. 8 seed, we made it. We got a series. Not looking to go any further than that. Not watch they go on a run and I look like the worst person in the world. Ride or die, baby. Ride or die. Wouldn't that be awesome? An 8-8 meeting each other in the finals. This would be the greatest day of my life. Seriously, greatest day of my life. Let's make it happen. Now, I want to repick now, Vlad. I want to go back.
I want to break.
Oh, we're going to close things out next. 560 WQAM.
To us live or on demand and use the rewind feature to go back and listen to any part of any shows you might have missed.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
You know it. We're wrapping up Sports Day on a Saturday. Not going to be here tomorrow because we've got Heat and Panthers running on both of our stations. This is the time of the day where we're kind of talking about what's been going on. Vlad, you had some stimulation the other day, and you're not talking about going to Lone Depot Park and watching those Marlins play. You got out and about.
Yeah, I went out, man. Shout out to my homegirl, Linnea. It was her birthday last weekend, and she went out celebrating.
Where'd y'all go?
Booby Trap.
Huh?
First time I've been to the trap in Fort Lauderdale, Pompano.
Nice. I
Pretty
love
nice.
Pompano Beach.
Pretty nice. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody that celebrated birthday. I had so many people celebrating birthday this month. Shout out to my homegirl, Williana. Williana was my, that was
baby mama.
No, baby mama. That's you wild.
Should have jumped to that conclusion.
I'm saying, yeah, just a beautiful girl who's actually born on 420. And,
wow, what a day.
She indulged. So yeah,
Record
shout out to
store
her.
day, man. You got to go get her some wax.
Shout out to Juliana. Shout out to my cousin Maika who celebrated her birthday. Shout out to my homegirl Erica. Shout out to my boy George. I know it's funny. His name is George, and I call him hey, my boy George. Happy birthday. Randy, mom, sis, Nadine, Roseanne. Who else? Everybody. Like everybody I know is basically born in April.
Two to add.
Who?
Our favorite bartender our female bartender at Duffy's in Plantation. Sabrina had her birthday.
All right, that's when Sabrina and Juliana. That's every time I see Sabrina, that's who I think of. That's why yeah.
So Sabrina at Duffy's in Plantation, she had her birthday just this past Wednesday.
Shout out, happy birthday, mama.
And my favorite mom, Big Lynn, had her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, my son.
Yeah, so much love. The rest of the day, man, probably going to be pretty smooth. I know, Vlad, you got Knicks basketball.
It's only Knicks, baby. I'm
record store day and Knicks basketball.
It's Stay baby.
Focused.
I can't wait. I'm about to get out. I might go to Jensen's, maybe get some beer, and then in let's say 28 minutes.
Go say hi to Don Julio, man. Don Julio, of course, knows who you are. He's one of the managers over there. Our man Manny's going to get back there soon, start working again. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to probably go home and relax. I'm going to watch this Minnesota-Phoenix game. I really like the Timberwolves. I also keep an eye on the Marlins losing to the Cubs twice today, possibly. There's a chance. Other than that, I think I might have to go run and get food. And then other than that, maybe drink beer and eat cookies, I got a sweet tooth, especially on record store day. You know what I mean?
You're gonna have the munchies.
I gotta get some sugar in my life,
Well, wait a minute.
I know. Exactly. Cookies,
totally
sugar,
different.
beer.
Totally different day.
Cookies.
That's
sugar,
a totally
beer.
different day.
Cookies, sugar, beer. Maybe go get some Peruvian food. I don't know.
Oh, this guy.
I don't know what's going on in my life.
This guy.
Well, we're not on tomorrow, Vlad. You are going to be out at the Panthers.
I will be covering.
And you're the reverse
Game
curse
1
for Sergei Bobrovsky, so we want you as close to him as possible.
Yeah, man. So you guys will have a new picture to post of me and Sergey.
It's my favorite picture.
That thing's my two favorite pictures that they have of me is the Sergey picture and the one with the Marlins mascot like right behind me.
The Sergey picture's the best because you're both very serious. You're a serious journalist.
Dude, you gotta when he talks, you gotta listen. Like it's almost like he's giving you wisdom. And then you realize you're like, how this little man stopping all those shots? And he speaks with such, with wisdom,
eloquence, and
wisdom, precision, everything. It's beautiful.
That's how you make a goalie. That's how you make a goaltender right there.
How to make a goalie.
That's gonna be great
Sergei
tomorrow.
Bobrovsky.
Tomorrow, up and at them early. Enjoy record store.
Good luck to everyone, man.
12:30, Vlad. 12:30. The puck drops for the Panthers and the Lightning. We hate the Lightning, so we're loving the Panthers. Then at 1:00, we tip off Boston Celtics, Miami Heat. We love the Heat, so we hate the Celtics. Let's get those two dubs.
And tonight we got soccer, football.
Inter Miami. We don't like Nashville SC. It's kind of like the new rivalry for us in the MLS.
Wow. So this is rivalry weekend in South Florida sports.
Let's go. Let's go to war. Marlins, Cubs.
That's a rivalry.
We
Steve
beat
Bartman.
We knocked them out of the playoffs last.
Steve Bartman.
Yep. There you go. Rivalry. Enjoy it. Soak it up. Take deep breaths. Take it all in. Enjoy record store day. For my cousin Vladimir Louison, I am Dan Day, and this has been Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Later, fools.
Listening to